same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, I can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so cool. On my mind, succeeded with hope and you were sure I couldn't agree that we were meant to be, but our love is what they talk about in movies. Our love is what they talk about. Yeah, we were wild and free, and you know everything about me. So wild and free, and you know everything about me.
Hey, we are live, kind of, in a mad state of things. We're back. I was kind of scared because we got new internet earlier this week, and this is my first time streaming on it. So I was just like, oh, but what if it breaks? You know? And then when you were like, oh, watch how it all breaks, I was like, oh no. And then when the bitrate was red, I was like, oh no. But yes.
But it's all good in the end.
It is all good in the end. Right, we are back on ESDL. No longer, I can't remember that name at all what we were doing last time, but yeah.
The might Sysinvit, or did we? Well, no, we didn't do that one. I
That
said
was,
I might do that one, but I
something
wasn't
else.
back in time. It was
Anyway,
something else.
Art of Chase and Madly Mediocre is our game one today.
Should
Everyone's
be
actually in lobby and ready.
pretty interesting.
Two teams
Yeah,
that
we'll
are
see.
potentially going to be joining Mysterious New League. So this could be a matchup we see again
Mysterious New
later.
League, yes.
I actually really like it when we see teams come together that we've casted both sides for. So, and we've got two of those. So we've got AOC and Mad and Mediocre, both of which we've casted like other games for them. We're finally seeing them clash. And then again, for Slightly Above Synergy and Guys in Real Life, seeing those two come together as well. Oh, I'm excited. I am excited. But we're just waiting for these teams to hit their... What am I thinking? Go live button. No, not go live button. their start game button. And it's times like this I'm glad I haven't opened up the chat.
Oh, there's no chat.
Yes, thank God. There's no chat in this lobby.
We'll say there's no chat.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So, how do you feel about game one as the coach, quote quote, of Art of Chase?
God. I haven't really coached for them for a while. I think this should be a hard match for them. They haven't been playing together much, so we'll see how their synergy as a team has been affected. I'm not sure they've played together since their last set of games, even.
That's worrying. Who did they come against last time? Hit or Miss was their last match. And
This was their last match. I think they
was
got.
that a 0-2 for them?
I think it was a 0-2, but their ADC hadn't played for quite a while. And they tried their mid support swap, which didn't work for them in game 1. They had a better game 2, but not quite managing to get a win. Hopefully they might do a little bit better this time. We'll have to see.
We will have to see indeed. And Mad and Mediocre, we saw them last week as well. Who were they against? They were against... Oh, my notes are not great. They were also against Hit or Miss, actually. They were also against Hit or Miss.
Did they have a scrim, I guess, maybe?
I think the AOC game was a scrim, and theirs was an actual match. So
AOC
both being
actual
against AOC, Hit or Miss, and I believe Madly Mediocre won one. I believe that was one of our like late games. If they don't have Buffalo Goose, it doesn't matter. What's up? The one and only Buffalo Goose from Hit or Miss. Do you remember the scores? Was it 1-1 against Madly Mediocre?
I mean they had 2 Buffalo Gooses, so you know.
Yeah. But anyway, we are in to Champ Select, so it's time for that very jarring music swap that's going on with our Champ Select
music swap.
Nice. Yeah, it went from there. No
So
copyright sounds to tense Champ Select music.
What I expect to see banned, I would expect potentially bans towards when you're going against Mad. I expect bans towards maybe the bot lane or mid lane to try and get yourself an advantage there. I think Joshua's pool in top lane is so big, you don't really gain anything by banning from it. Meanwhile, Christensen's pool not so big in terms of what he looks effective on, and you could just ban out some of the bot lanes, especially the support role, in order to get yourself a better matchup. Kai'Sa is just the most played champion for Nasty Fox, so no surprise there. Practically it looks like a Kai'Sa one trick. Really not surprised at the Malzahar ban. Malzahar by far looks like the best mid laner that could be picked for side of Madly Mediocre.
Yeah, so jumping on your point about Madly Mediocre's bot lane, it does kind of feel like, you know, Slugs themselves, the AD carry is probably with the smallest pool. And it does kind of surprise me to see AOC not abusing that, instead going for these more, you know, team-wide bans, you know, jungle ban, mid ban.
Slugs themselves, I think, actually has a fairly wide pool in terms of what they can play bot lane. They have the main sort of meta champion, so I don't think there's going to be any particular bans there.
But do you think Trist was the best one of all of those to ban out, if you could have highlighted one of Slugs themselves picks?
Trist is an interesting one to ban. It makes me expect you, or think you're expecting to make the Ashe Caitlyn trade, or you're telling to ban. If it's not a Caitlyn lock in here, I think there's something going a little bit wrong. Nasty Fox isn't the best.
I was about to say, I don't have Nasty Fox really down as a Caitlyn
doesn't
player.
Doesn't play Caitlyn that much.
I think MM know this though. I think MM have done their scouting.
He's gonna
they
go
know.
for Jhin, which Jhin will do all right into Caitlyn.
MM
so they're just making that trade-off.
Nasty Fox wasn't going to pick up that Caitlyn, and so they can make that Ashban Caitlyn pickup, knowing that he's not going to pick her.
So Caitlyn Lulu, obviously very good, strong bot lane that's going to scale pretty well still. Jhin is actually pretty decent into Caitlyn Lulu. Neither of those are tank champions, so we would expect obviously a Nami coming out. Nami, I think, is a great champion here, especially. It just really helps out the Jhin. He wants to. His main mobility is in the moving from crits, and having the extra slows on his autos from the Nami E will really help him out with the repositioning.
How do you feel about the Nami into Lulu? I know you're a little bit more versed in support matchups than I am, for sure.
So, depending on what Nami takes first, you'll be able to win the early trades. In terms of an all-in, considering there's 4 ranged champions, I would expect the Nami to win it, not the Lulu. If the junglers are there, I would expect probably Lulu to win, because Hecarim will jump into the enemy team, get Wild Growth.
Wild Growth, yeah, that's Wild Growth.
And you can get a really big knock-up off of it. Overall, Nami's just tends to be a better laner, and slightly better arguably CC wise.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to
I'm not
see how
sure about the blind Vi pick, especially into a Lulu. Lulu poly onto a Vi who's ulting.
Do you know that
Ouch.
Cass has been playing a little bit of fire recently? Last I checked, had a 60% win rate this season, so not bad. Maybe something he's just been increasingly more comfortable with as he's playing these games, and maybe it fits with this comp that AOC are building in Mines. Of course, we're seeing bans looking towards top and mid for AOC, and well, top and mid for MM as well. Jackson Ari going against
Galio,
MM.
Yasuo.
Galio, Yasuo, some mid-targeted bans. So Confirmed is obviously looking to be the threat here.
So Ari, very good champion to Vi because Vi wants to go straight in a line, and that makes Ari's charm really easy to hit. Unless Vi uses the ultimate to actually dodge out of the charm, which you can do, you become unstoppable by the time the ultimate finishes. It's all worked out. Cassidy here is an extremely scaling pick. They are picking towards a far more scaling team, it seems, than AOC has. But this, it's worth noting, will give Vi the time to come online. Sometimes Vi can just not appear in a game because she doesn't manage to get to the item spike. I would expect her to be able to reach it though now. Rise, very good just pick for countering the Cassidy.
See, when we look
The
at these
real front line for AOC is the
comps
only
as a
thing
whole,
I'm
yeah,
worrying
AOC's
about.
draft worries me. It feels a little bit, I don't want to say all over the place, but
I think it's really fine if you get someone else who's a decent frontline here. I think the comp fits together quite well. Gnar can work. You can get some really disgusting combos off with the Nami ult and bubble, the Gnar ult, and Vi ulting through an enemy team, just allowing Rise to EQ through the entire enemy team. But we might see the GP
we
being
were
picked
talking
up.
about this before we went live today.
I-
We're doing a quick bit of
I
scouting
noticed
on
he'd
people's
played
profiles.
Played
I think
a
Josh was
GP
baiting
game.
us. He's baiting us. I knew it. I knew
Ah.
it. Switching to the Malphite lock-in. Honestly,
So
MM,
Gnar,
solid draft here, actually. If we're looking at team fight.
so we're looking for a big wombo combo forwards, all in, just one-shot them from MM. Side of AOC is a more sort of kiting team, wants to wait for them to get a really good opportunity to knock, say, the Kassadin and Hecarim just straight into a CC lock chain until they're dead. So I have to see how that works out for them. It's really going to come down to how well the Malphite, Kassadin, and Hecarim are able to catch out the backline of AOC.
Yeah, and I mean, if we consider, all three, Malphite, Cassid, and Hecarim, high mobility when it comes to their engage. We've got the Onslaught Shadows, the Unstoppable Force, Kassadin just existing with that Rift Walk. And then you've got Nasty Fox with the Jhin, almost completely immobile AD carry, who is going to struggle with a pick such as Malphite. There wasn't any
Right, I
swaps.
think there's been a issue here potentially with the swapping.
Yeah, or maybe this is some AOC swaps that we're not expecting. So maybe it's Jaeger Bomb on the Jhin today. But yeah,
It's actually possible. Okay, I know one of the potential swaps they were looking at was swapping Jaeger into ADC to attempt that, and Nasty's only other role he's really played before was mid. So this could just be a potential swap to try out the lane swaps. So we'll have to see how that goes. Top lane, I would expect to be slightly Malphite focused if played correctly.
honestly,
Just for the simple fact that the Malphite Q early with Comets can do a lot of unexpected damage into Gnar. Gnar does have the percent health magic damage though, so I'd expect after a few levels Gnar to start really winning that out.
and also we've seen Joshua on Malphite before, and he showed a dominant performance on that Malphite. So honestly, that's something to definitely be respected by AOC. But whether Confirmed has done his homework is something else. Honestly, so yeah, I was talking about this, how, with two almost completely immobile carries with the Jhin and the Rise, with Malphite, Hecarim, Kassadin, it's going to be nigh impossible for Jaegwom and Jin, especially considering, you know, Jin into tanks. No fun whatsoever.
I would like to see Guardian Nami here, just as an added bonus to help keep the Jin Rise alive. I would like to see the Phase Rush Rise definitely rushing towards the shielding item, picking up some early MR, I think is essential for Rise and Na here.
Yeah, and, I mean, I think Phase Rush is essential. I don't think this is a game you can run Conqueror Rise. But yeah, Phase Rush will definitely give them that kiting potential to, you know, get away from that Kassadin, especially pre-16 when Riftwalk's going to have a decent cooldown. Try at least
see.
Kite the Hecarim. Kiting Hecarim is always going to be a little bit trickier.
I'd like to see a very aggressive Vi here. I think in the 2v2s, top and mid, you will win them both early. Just with the armor shred Vi provides at the slow and CC that you can chain in both of those lanes. So I think this can go very well if they play it correctly. You can also potentially try and push Hecarim out of his jungle.
Yeah,
So we'll have to see how that goes.
Though pressure to Kassa, but there's a lot that we're expecting from the Vi. Whether or not he'll live up to these expectations, we will find out very, very soon as we head into our load screen.
It's very much a single swim champion as well. I wouldn't mind to see just very efficient, hard farm pathing to get you towards your 2 item spike, because you want that Triforce and that completed jungle item. In terms of summoners, we see Jin having fleet footwork. That's no surprise. We see press the attack on Caitlyn. You generally see a fleet footwork on Caitlyn. I think this is very aggressive. It looks like they're going for the killer lane, especially with the ignites on the Lulu. I'm not sure how I feel about that one, really.
I think that one really comes out to how confident Slice themselves and Lee Rollin are on that Caitlyn and Lulu. And whether
here's the difference. On the side of AOC in that bot lane, you have healing potential with the Nami anyway. So that's the side that you wouldn't mind seeing going, if they had the Caitlyn, going for a different route. Guess what you forgot to turn off again? Every time.
We forget every single week. And a quick for accept. But yes. Honestly, I think we're going to see some bot lane action very, very early on. Because honestly, just the pickup of PTA for Slugs themselves is crying out to me saying, this is a confident Caitlyn, it's going to be aggressive. Whether AOC are ready for this or not, I'm not sure.
So,
in game we go. Let's reorder everyone in their positions.
Yep. Also worth noting, we have the fleet footwork on the Gnar up top. I think that's really good when you've got a Hecarim with a Malphite with Comet. That's going to be poking you down quite a bit. We do have Hail of Blades on the Vi. I mean, you can do this. I would expect to see very heavy. Vi. I expect to see very heavy early gank style.
Yes.
When you have this up.
Yeah. So Hail of Blades Vi is honestly so much fun. Actually, we're seeing a possible invade actually coming out here from looping around the spot lane. But yeah, if Kassa's not going for this early pressure, I think Hail of Blades is wasted. If he does, I think this could be huge for AOC. But actually, Horns on the other side of the wall is next to this wall. Is flashable, but isn't spotted. Will flash over the wall. The trap obviously not being set up quick enough.
I'm really not sure about that placement. They've also dropped 2 wards, which they really need to do. If they all auto it, yep, they get that ward.
Yeah, they'll get the ward.
It's a nice bit of gold and a tiny bit of experience. Won't make much difference.
She'll get caught by the bubble.
Just...
Oh, possible 5v5 here. Nice trap landing onto Jaeger. Huge only to get it. Flash force, but Lucy Roll is there. Nah, and
that's what we like. A nice early Fiesta. Slugs themselves is caught.
Oh, the bubble.
There's no real follow-up with all champions being level 1. I would expect both bot lanes to just take a back here. You know the opposing bot lane is probably going to take the back.
Messy start to this game. I think you're slightly ahead of me, so I'm trying to do a quick speed up there. Yeah, slightly ahead. Yeah, looking at jungle pathing, both junglers starting bottom side, so no bot lane action for the first few minutes unless we see level 2 ganks.
In terms of summoners used, we've got both the flashes gone from the bot lane of AOC. Whether this will be punished, whether it's even noticed, we're yet to see.
I didn't see it pinged, but also I think I got my chat off the screen. One quick for Maratos. Mod Atos, even. But yes.
Well,
So
I
I'm
mean,
expecting...
Lulu Ignite was pinged from AOC when it was not actually used.
Interesting. So obviously they think the Ignite's come out, but maybe the DOT they were seeing was actually Joshua's corrupting potion? Or maybe they just seeing it wrong on their
Joshua's
screens.
taking some very bad trades here. Need to remember that level difference means a lot.
Yes, of course, confirmed to get to lane a little bit quicker, so Joshua did fall behind a little bit on XP.
Something else, Horns taking the early bubble means that their laning is a lot weaker. It's by far the weakest first level spell you can take with Nami. W allows you to basically just trade by pressing W. E gives you a ridiculous amount of extra damage level 1. And with the added slows, it's really good.
Cass actually burned his
Horns.
flash, but first blood actually in the bottom lane.
Just
Also
stepping
busy
onto
looking
that
at jungle.
trap. Yeah, not sure about that one.
Not respecting the damage that can come out from those early headshots. Of course, if Slugson's already had that headshot
Nice
charge.
trade from Nasty Fox.
Yeah, Nasty Fox on that rise does have just this trade potential that, you know, a level 3 Kassadin really can't trade back. All you have is that Q to give you that magic damage shield just to dampen the trade.
And you got the fleet footwork. Confirmed is really far up
Another
here.
trap hitting. Ooh, Jaeger will be safe though. I'm watching
Confirmed
out for
could be
these
in
traps.
trouble.
Yeah,
Depends
there
whether
is.
Hecarim decides to move up for a gank here. He's pinging it.
Yeah, you see
If he's smart, he
Mercius
can
is
use
coming
his
in.
jump to jump over the Hecarim.
Confirmed. We'll actually jump over Joshua, but still going to get knocked back by
That's,
Mercius. It is
I'm
now
not sure of that
stuck in
one.
between them. Mega is decently far away. Yeah, Mercius will be there just to mow
doesn't
him
use
down
his
with that
flash.
Q. Does use
I
the
think
flash.
interest-
Horns actually stepping really far forward considering the rest of AOC have left them behind. The Ignite actually coming out. Heal as well, but Slugs themselves just doing huge damage with those headshots. Will
Jaeger
finish off
also dead
Horns
there.
and Jaeger.
Ouch. I think in the top lane, Confirmed could have chosen to flash there and attempt to pick up the kill on Joshua. I actually quite like not burning your flash at all in that situation when you think you're definitely dead. Even trading the kill's not that effective, so keep it up. Keeps you a lot safer in the future. Gives you that extra kill potential to chase someone down.
Yeah.
Bot lane though, ouch. Bot lane not going great.
Yeah, we're 4 minutes in, and Slugs themselves is already 2-0 on that Caitlyn, which is 1,200 gold up in 4.5 minutes. That is tragic for AOC.
So I think, yeah, giving over the Caitlyn, it depends whether your ADC can play. I don't know what Jaeger actually plays. No, Nasty Fox isn't a big player of the Caitlyn, but yeah, generally that's what you want to ban if you're not going to be playing something. The Tristana.
Ooh, okay.
Planning to play Nami, Tristana actually is pretty good to play it into, because she'll jump close enough for your W to proc. You can really easily predict her jumps to bubble her.
Actually, it was AOC that banned the Tristana.
Exactly, which is a little bit surprising when they don't pick up the Caitlyn.
Spotting out Cass. Yeah, he's not going to taste
See
that too
Cass in the
far.
jungle.
Confirm will be there to respond as well, but Joshua doesn't care.
Gonna just take a lot of damage here.
Yeah, Confirmed is free to walk on him. I think Joshua knows not to trade back there, considering how close Mega is to coming up. It's definitely not a winning trade for a level 4 Malphite.
And
First
easy
dragon is
when
obviously up. Ooh.
when Nar gets a couple of
Horn's
levels.
gonna get caught out by Mercius here. The bubble
Horns.
doesn't land, but the root doesn't do anything
That'll
from
be-
Jaeger. But Ghost is popped by Mercius, and Horns is about 100 health. But with the smite and the cleave,
Another death.
it's another death for Horns. This is not Horns' game.
Okay. At this point, you just need to stay in lane. You can't afford to leave. You need to stay in lane and actually get that XP. You try and just let them push into you. And get your Nami up to level 6, because at level 6, at the very least, she has a massive knock-up in her kit. And that's always going to be useful. Jaeger just stepping too far
the
forward.
1v2. Jaeger has got 4 shot, but the flash Q will be mirrored for the flash from Jaeger.
Yep. I'm not sure they needed to flash there. Probably could have got away with using the heal, but always better to use what you're sure will work.
I think if he got hit by that star, I think that was a dead Jaeger, considering Slugs themselves was sitting on a headshot, I believe. So I think the flash was necessary. Interesting to see this dragon is fairly untouched. We keep seeing MM go towards it. Actually confirmed. Ooh, level 6 to level 5. Nah, it's not going to go anywhere crazy. But yeah, Dragon seems fairly untouched.
So
all
they do
things
have a
considered.
massive advantage in the bot lane. So I would expect them to go towards it. Horns again, just stepping too far forwards when you're at a massive level disadvantage. You just need to soak the XP. Don't go anywhere near them. You just want to. Oh, this could go really
Oh,
badly.
actually,
for
ultimate
them. They're
coming in from
looking-
Joshua in the top lane. Confirmed will be walking away free. But
engage
meanwhile,
in
we
the
do
bot
see
lane.
Casa in the bot lane. So we'll be down the route
They get
onto
the
Slice and
route.
Sails, but flashing over the bubble. It's actually looking safe.
They won't get
with
this.
that extra
Horns.
little bit of speed. Do you see Mercius is on the side, ready to come in. Using that blast cone, will be spotting Casa on the side there. Nice knockback
there's the
into the
TP.
TP coming in from Joshua. Mercius will be just
absolute
ramming Casa under that
disaster for
tower, but now
AOC.
in the 4v2.
Oh no, not okay. Here's the TP.
The TP from
confirmed.
confirmed is all
Gets
too
away
late.
with the TP, but
Oh, TP for the wave.
oof. Yeah. So there as well, Horns used the E on herself, which I don't know. I think there you just use it on the Jhin. Jin's ahead of you anyway, so you speed him up, give him the extra damage. And I think they could have maybe actually picked up that Caitlyn kill. But they continue to chase realistically when it's going to be extremely hard for them to get that kill anyway. You can see she didn't actually even have to use heal.
Yeah, he was still available. Flash was used in that fight.
It might just be a case of they're feeling very much under pressure from how far ahead this Caitlyn is. Trying just a bit too hard to shut her down.
Oh yeah, because we did say that AOC's stronger point was in this early game, notably with that Vi.
Yeah.
And
Well,
considering
Vi's-
that MM have the better scaling, it does kind
Wow.
of feel... I mean, yes, there is...
There's arguments for both teams having the better scaling here. It really depends on who manages to get ahead or not, and how
I mean,
the
which at the
builds
moment,
go.
4k ahead MM. Oh, see his jungle skirmish possibly up here. Mercius going to be catching up Casa, doing already half health.
Casa
Charging that
just
Q,
trying to get
will be
out
able
of this
to get
fight.
out.
Did manage to pick up the scuttle crab, so small
Small
trades,
wins.
small wins. See, Horns
Look
is
at
sitting
that
here
double
level
headshot
4.
damage from Jaeger. Onto Jaeger, and it's just insane the amount of damage coming out from Slice and Sails before the 10-minute mark. I mean, if we just look at CS alone, if even without the 3 kills and 3 assists, there's a 30 CS lead for Slice and Sails in that bot lane.
I think, yeah, without all of the kills, you're happy for that CS lead to be there. Although, the fact that you've died so much and there's such a difference in the CS is really bad.
Look at
Horns
that
is dead.
headshot. Horns taking so much damage, of course. Yeah, Jaeger will be there to block that. But a headshot auto doing almost Horns' entire health bar.
Yeah, a level 4 Nami. Needs to stay close enough to actually get to level 5 and level 6 here. Actually, Slugs is getting pretty low, and there's a fairly big
Actually,
bounty on his
small
head.
skirmish in this top lane confirmed is about to hit Mega. Yeah, they're going to leave him alone there. Casa coming in the spot lane as well,
Casa-
charging that ultimate
Oh,
on
no,
to
no,
release
no.
it.
Oh, God.
But with the wild growth, knockout into the tower, huge amount of damage coming out. No
So,
finish from AOC. And we're just going to trade Herald.
in line. Not in line there at all. I think that would be fine if Casa could have actually flash ulted onto Slugsem Snails.
Oh, but they're also actually landing onto Nasty Fox. Not respecting that there's 3 members of MM there. One of which is
Yeah.
a Malphite with Unstoppable Force.
Yeah, really not sure about that one. You can give up a Herald. It's the first Herald. Generally, it's worth about a kill. If you want to fight over that in a 2v3, yeah, you need to be
that's just
really sure you'll win it.
throwing more gold into that 5k gold lead that MM have. Is
See,
that...
Slugs is just gonna run him
Jaeger
down
just
with the Storm
overstepping. Yeah,
Razor.
Slugs is just able to auto him down, finishing a Storm Razor at 11 minutes.
Yeah, so the main problem that went wrong here was the bot lane. I don't think anyone can really contest that fact.
It was just...
I would like to see Casa try and get maybe Confirmed far ahead at this point. If Confirmed can really pressure the side lanes, you can attempt to actually stay in this game. as Confirmed can pull other members to him, not just the Malphite.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I mean, I don't think
Looks
mid is
like-
over by any means. I think, you know, Casa can, if he funnels enough gold into Nasty Fox, the Rise one-shot is definitely a thing. And, well, actually with Casa
definitely a
coming
thing,
up
but
to his top lane,
I feel like Malphite's probably
Speaking
the
of
easier
push.
kill whenever his ult's down.
but it looks like he's going to leave that. Of course, Joshua is pretty safe under his tower there.
Horn's still level 5, 12 minutes into the game.
Just hit level 6. Just hit level 6.
Yay!
Small wins for AOC.
Small
So,
wins.
didn't look like Dragon number 2. So Dragon number 2 is an Infernal, so it means we're on a Cloud or an Ocean Rift.
So if you're AOC at this point,
Honestly,
It
both
doesn't-
are going to be
both are
tragic
really
if MM
annoying.
get.
Unfortunately they have a Hecarim, which really ups how much Cloud is worth, because that converts straight into AD.
Yeah, Hecarim, of course, getting huge amounts from that Cloud Rift. Cassin as well will benefit hugely from that Cloud Rift, especially the later on this game goes. And I suppose it's never going to be bad on a Malphite as well, or the Lulu or the Caitlyn. But yeah, Hecarim and Cassidon hugely benefiting from that Cloud. And if it's an
Honestly-
Ocean, I don't think anyone's complaining.
While there's nice trades coming out in the bot lane, I would like to see
Oh,
Slugs
actually-
just use the ultimate.
They're both low enough, they need to get out of vision.
I would like to see Slugs just use the ultimate as pressure when you've already got them to half health. That extra pressure onto
Oh,
them
but the
is just
ultimate actually coming out
massive.
from Nasty Fox, getting hit by the trap, but
They're going
Casa
on to
is
the Lulu
there.
first.
And
That's good.
Roland
Good
is there
focus.
with Wild Growth on himself. Herald's here.
there's
Slugs
TP
themselves
coming
is
in. They need to
behind,
turn
only
on
has
to
heal,
Slugs.
no
They need to
flash,
be-
but Joshua is here. Comes out with that unstoppable force onto Nasty Fox and will be taken down. No one from Emma is actually fallen yet. Jägerman was there with 200 health, but comes the top.
Oh, and
Christensen
this is a
here.
5-man. Horns
Level
and Jaeger are
10.
both dead.
Flash with the Q into the Rift Walk will finish off the bot lane of AOC.
Yes,
It's just confirmed there. Teleport was available, but was there much that he could do to stop that?
They needed to actually focus their fire there. No, I think TPing down
Especially
there.
not without Mega.
What do you legitimately do? You have to back off the tower because you can't sit under a tower 1v5 anyway.
Yep,
If
so
you try
we
and
just
sit
get
it
a
on-
little bit of tower damage top, possibly the tower, depending on how MM rotate this.
And I think that's fine at this point. You just want to try and get your Gnar into a point where he can side lane and be a particular threat. I would quite like to see the Wit's End from him, because you're going to be side laning into either Cassidon or Malphite, and the Wit's End will give you a massive amount of value against either of them. Just from the MR values and the extra auto attacks giving you that extra % health damage from your W passive.
Yeah, but it does look like... Actually, how much gold is he sitting on? So he's sitting on 2.7k, so really needs to back right now. Almost got 3k gold sitting on. Actually, looking at gold overall, so top lane is just the 600 gold lead for Confirmed. Actually, never mind, we do see Casa coming in this mid lane, but Riftwalk is Riftwalk. What can you do? Riftwalk is Riftwalk. But yeah, going down, there's a about 1.3k gold lead for Mercius in the jungle. About 1.2k for Christensen in mid. Almost double the gold. Oh, look at that
Horns
cheese wheel chunk.
flashes.
Korn's almost getting half health by the single cheese wheel. Joshua doesn't have a... will get rooted by Jaeger. And
So
Horns is allowed out.
we see there's the lane swap here with Lulu, Caitlyn on top, but considering your tower has fallen there, I'd have much preferred to put them mid to really pressure down this mid tower. Top lane, they are open to getting ganked and actually dying from the fact that they don't have that defensive tower there. If Confirmed can get up Mega, he can potentially actually do something here.
He
He's
does have
just
the
getting
Black
auto
Cleaver
down.
finish now, and his ninjas, so there's going to be a little bit...
Cass
a
on the
little bit
way.
trickier to kill.
Has
Actually, the
ult up.
ultimate coming out won't finish off Confirmed, but... We'll see the shield coming out, the TP coming out
There's the
from
TP.
Christensen. Casa
they shouldn't
will
push
walk straight
through
into that
this.
tower, but the ultimate will land onto him.
Oh.
He behind his own tower. The Wild Growth will pick
It's
up
nice
onto
CC,
Christensen.
but it's not going to be enough.
So much damage coming out from MM, and now Nasty Fox alone in this 1v4.
He's in just a
They
bit
just
too
juggle
late.
this tower aggro to finish off.
And there's
Nasty
the poly
Fox.
finally coming in.
Oh,
Christensen going to get
just
out.
getting out there.
Just over 100 health. Very good map rotations, honestly, coming out from Badly Mediocre.
And that's a
And we see that
surrender
there was
from
the
AOC.
surrender.
17-0. Almost 10k gold lead.
Yeah,
MM showing us.
this is the one where you think about how you're gonna play and draft towards the next game, and then when you're ready for it, just FF, save your mental as much as you can, and go on to the second game.
Yeah, I think staying in that game any longer was just no good for AOC. Now, MVPs whilst we get into our second game here. How do you feel for AOC?
For AOC, I think I would give it to the top lane there. I have to give it to Confirmed. I think he was actually doing okay in his matchup. He didn't have the TPs, but Gnar TP, you need to have your Mega ready, really, in order to be useful when you TP, or have it close to being ready. And most of the times, the fight was already finished by the time he could have TP'd. So I think he did about as well as he could.
And from MM,
Yeah.
I mean,
From MM,
bot
I mean,
lane just screams to me here.
I think you got to give it to one of the bot lane. The question is which. Honestly, I think I would give it to the Caitlyn there, slightly over the Lulu. Especially you could see the really aggressive net shots coming out in order to get that extra range for the auto attacks. And yeah, Lulu did play it well, but I think really it was the Caitlyn adding in the pressure that really made a difference there.
Yeah, I mean, well played from the whole of MM there. A very, very clean game. 18-0, I think the finish was. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
17? I thought it was 17, but
17 or 18. Regardless.
Regardless.
Convincing performance, shall we say, from the
Convincing
side
performance.
of MM.
So
Now-
MM, of course, what can you take from that game going into the second game?
Do it
I
all
think
again.
I think you might want to look at the top lane matchup and the mid lane matchup. I mean, you won in the bot lane. I don't think you're gonna get Caitlyn Lulu again.
Yeah.
Your mid lane was going okay for you, and your top lane was going okay.
I think mid
but
lane was
again, those
going
are
as
both
okay
okays.
as it could possibly have gone, considering it was casted into
Considering
Rise.
everything, and Caston was managing to get off more roams, or more useful roams. So I don't think you're particularly sad about that one. You do have to look at the top lane.
Yeah, so I
there,
think maybe
though.
with a stronger top lane, I mean, MM could show an even more dominant performance. How about from AOC? What do we want to see done differently here? Because, I mean, I think there's definitely
AOC,
stuff to be worked on.
Assuming you want to keep the same roles, let's I think your top and mid were fine. I think you really need to focus on the bot lane here. So I think that was the issue. I don't think it was anything to do with jungle ganking bot lane either. I think you would just need to ban out ADCs or supports. If you're not going to pick the Caitlyn, well, just ban the Caitlyn actually. You're not first pick. Ban the Caitlyn. You're pretty much
Ban the
obliged
Caitlyn.
to.
I mean,
Caitlyn is so strong at the moment that if you can't play the Ashe and they don't ban the Ashe, ban Caitlyn.
yeah, because we don't really know what Jaeger's AD carry pool. Of course, there's the swap coming out from AOC. I don't think Nasty Fox plays Ashe either. Yeah, I don't see that in my very brief notes that I took for this game.
We saw before that it looks like they're gonna forfeit the second match. Well, there we go. They decide they're not willing to play the second match, or they don't think it's going to be worth it. Seems like potentially Confirmed was not coming back after what happened the first match. I mean, that could be quite a tilting experience.
It was a rough game for AOC, and I think, as you said before, haven't really practiced much recently, alongside with some lane swaps coming in to
attempt out. I don't think they did. It's not a confirmed problem, Nasty Fox is saying. Maybe they're just tilted and they want to take time off, or someone else has some other real life issue. Who knows? Point is, no second game coming out here.
For AOC versus MM. Now, I don't know if we've had the VODs come in for.
We've
let's have a
not.
look.
The question, I can see they're still in game.
They're actually still in game 1. Do we want to just jump into game 1? And then just carry on with game 2 from there?
We could. I can't actually spectate their game.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's because we're in a lobby.
Yeah, it's because we're in lobby, yes.
We could just go into spectating the game. Yeah.
Shall we?
Want to do that?
Yeah,
Sure,
so
why
we're going
not?
to jump
So-
into Slightly Above Synergy versus Guys in Real Life. Midway through their game 1, as of course they were playing at the same time as AOC
we-
and MM.
We can start at the start.
We can start at the start. Oh, that is huge. Right.
Just so we don't spoil anything for anyone else. Don't swap over the view until you're
good
loaded
point.
in and
Good
move back
point.
to the start.
We're going to keep on our main screen.
But I can give a. Oh no, wait, we can't go back to the start apparently. Interesting.
Can we not?
No. I didn't know that's how that worked.
We're learning new
but-
things every day here.
Do we want to go from partway through and then join them for game 2?
We can actually see. Yeah. Okay. Right. How do? Because if we do join game 2 late, we're gonna be joining game 2 like midway through as well.
Shall we wait for game 2 and join them on game 2, then cast game 1 after? With no spoilers of who won game 1?
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Yeah, so we're going to do a little bit of a different thing. Maybe we can talk about what we would expect to see from this matchup for a while. I had a little look at where they were in game, and, well, we might actually have a while to go.
Might we? I'm still loading it. I
yeah.
can't quit the load screen.
Yeah, the game doesn't look like it's too
Remember, you're 3
close to
minutes
being
behind
over.
as well. Ah, yes, I see. We can't go back to the beginning as well. Right, okay. Right. Let's dip out of there. Okay. So, we can have a talk about SAS and Guys in Real Life. So, I mean, as we've seen both these teams before, I mean, as we said before our first game. Do you have any predictions for this game? Because, I mean, of course, I didn't actually catch when I did that quick spectate, because we know that Guys in Real Life are going to be having a substitute jungler this game. So we did see.
We do know, and jungle is quite an important position. I don't actually know who's substituting for them. I should have checked while I was in the spectate. Really, we'll have to see how that is.
We can
Up
scout
against
their game. And have a quick look.
SAS have a pretty good setup. I would expect to see probably against them you pull out bans towards the bot lane and jungle, because it looks like they generally have most of their power in terms of influencing the rest of the map there and moving it around. In terms of Guys in Real Life, we know that on the opposite side they don't tend to have a bot lane that will move and run around too much. They like to just get slight leads in their bot lane and then go from there. We'll really have to see how the jungle swap comes out, because I expect them mostly to play through top mid, whereas I expect SAS to play through potentially mid and bot lane.
Yeah. And I'm jumping a little bit backward, but we do have Joshua here from top lane from Mad Mediocre and coach of SAS. So with huge insights
So we can
on these two games.
Well, we can jump in. We can
And we
talk about the
can-
first game, and then we can move on to talking about what we expect to
Exactly.
see from
So, let's
Girl and
bring
SAS.
in Joshua. I hope he's at his computer, because
Hope
this would
he's
be
here.
hella awkward if he isn't. Joshua, hello.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
How are you doing?
Hey, not bad, not bad.
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you.
There you go. Okay,
So, give us some insight into what you think just happened in that game.
So,
There's 4.
So that first game, we wanted to draft. Well, first of all, they first picked Jin. That was a huge bad. That was bad. Like Kate is picker ban right now, so we picked Kate and we secured our bot lane, and that was pretty much it. We knew we were going to have a scaling mid, so we were kind of waiting for that. We were waiting like 20 minutes. That's when we were going to be online, but bot lane just snowballed heavily, and we just played through that.
Yeah. So when you banned the Ashe, did you know that AOC weren't gonna pick the Caitlyn? Had you like done the scouting, or was it just ban the Ashe, hope they don't pick it?
Yeah, we just banned Ashe, hope they don't pick it.
Yeah.
It worked out for you.
Worked out for you. I'm interested to know, did you have a backup plan for if they did first pick Caitlyn?
Yo, I'll be honest, we were like, well, we didn't know what we were going to play.
We
fair
actually
enough.
had no clue we were going to play. Actually, Jin is okay into Caitlyn, so I was going to suggest to pick Jin, but I don't even know if our AD carry plays Jin.
Yeah, it is an okay thing to pick into Caitlyn generally. I think it was really, the game just rotated around that bot lane. How did you feel about how the top lane went, of course, because you were playing the Malphite into the Gnar?
I saw that I picked the, so I knew I was going to have a losing lane into Gnar. The main purpose of my pick was to get into Ryze and Jhin. Jhin is a very immobile AD carry, and Ryze is a very immobile mage. So I knew I was going to have a bad lane. I knew I was going to get out CS'd. I know like probably like 10 minutes I was down like 20 CS, but I was trying to impact the map, other areas.
And we saw some very nice TPs that really helped turn a lot of bot lane fights, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know, it felt like at every point during the game, you just were one step ahead of AOC. And
Okay. I mean, I won't be wrong. Me, Mercurius, and Lisa and me rolling, we were shot calling. We were all like kind of shot calling, seeing how we were going to pace the game. Of course, I called the lane swaps because if we already know we took bottom turret and we took the drag, let's lane swap it so we can get that Rift Herald and enemy blue side jungle control.
So I did wonder about that lane swap actually. What made you decide to send the bot lane top instead of mid?
Just because of the rift, and we knew Cass had TP, so in case they were going to collapse, I was playing weak side. We had Hecarim top side, and that was literally where we were playing off of, and they didn't even rotate, so they didn't care. I think they weren't paying attention to the rotation. I guess they weren't paying attention to the Rift Herald that was going to come up, because we were going to play for that, and that's why we did the lane swap.
Fair enough. Shall we move on to this second game that's coming up? Of course, we don't know what's going on in the first game right now.
Coach of SAS as well.
Coach of
many
SAS.
talents.
What are your thoughts going into this game?
So I'm actually trying to pull it up, and I can't pull it up on my end.
Okay. Yep. So we just finished game 1. But yeah, so have you actually seen guys in real life play before?
So
this is your first time meeting them?
This is our first time meeting them, but we saw VOD and we saw that they have a really strong mid laner, so we were planning to attack the mid laner in our bans. Hopefully we did that. I wasn't there for ban phase, so yeah, I mean, every lane is pretty consistent. We were really just focusing on the mid lane.
Yep, I've just sent you guys the code to get into the game.
Yep, there we go. Just
Thank you.
cool. Okay, so without giving too much away, and of course you can just say no if you want. Do you know what SAS are planning for this game?
Yes.
You know what they're planning. I know you don't want to give it away. But
Well, maybe we'll wait until the pick ban phase is done for game 2 in case it's a big factor.
yeah. So this is game 2. We actually don't know who won game 1. I can actually do a quick ask. Who won
True.
game 1?
Or do we want to spoil it if
Oh
we're gonna
yeah, because
vodcast
we're
it
gonna
afterwards?
So what was the plan is here? We're gonna vodcast game 1 after game 2. So a
Because
little
we
bit
can
like
live cast game 2.
yeah, big, it's a little big brain here. So yeah, we'll assume it's 0-0 for now. Actually, that was what I was gonna ask. So, Solo, I think is your top laner, right?
Yes.
Is that a name change or is that somebody new coming out? I'm trying to find my... Yeah, so you used to have the last melon. Is that new person in the roster or is that just a name change for last melon?
Name change.
Name change. Is that the same for Autokill in the bot lane from Trolls?
Yes.
Okay, so it's same roster as before. Nice. Okay. It's actually a strangely
like-
organised lobby here.
We have everyone there. Teams are just potentially trying to move themselves around into the right positions.
Let's pop the correct... So it's no longer MM and AOC. We do have... So it's guys in real life on the blue team, and where's team 1? And SAS on the red. There we go.
High
Professional
quality
streaming.
production
High
values.
quality production. Do you see we edited it all live? It's the only
It's
way
just like
to go.
actual LCS. Did you see that actually?
No.
They had a thing where they had the wrong team won the previous game, and you could literally see them deleting it and typing it back in during the game. It was yeah.
Oh,
So
high
we are
quality.
as high quality as NALCS.
That's high quality. Do you know what? I'm gonna hold it to that. We're just as good as LCS. Nah, I can't say
so-
with a straight face.
They're just checking that both sides are ready. In terms of where I would expect to see bans coming down in this game, I expect Girl to be trying to ban out potentially jungle bot lane from the jungle support from the side of Slightly Above Synergy, because I think that they have quite a big impact on the game. And on the other side, I'd expect Slightly Above Synergy to maybe be focusing bans more towards either the top or mid lane, because it feels like that's potentially the strongest. They could also just focus their bans on the bot lane and attempt to win through bot.
Just
But
ban anything.
not ban anything. But I don't want to see like a load of spread out bans, like one from each lane. I think that would be the wrong way to go about this, because it looks like they're all fairly consistent on multiple champions. So if you're going to go for that, it'll have to be a very specific ban towards a pick that counters what you want or what you don't like to play against. For example, we always end up having to ban Zac. I
Yeah.
don't know why you guys can't play against.
Shh, don't call me out like this. Don't call me out.
Oh.
Important thing to notice, guys in real life do have a sub in the jungle with... Oh my god, here we go. Sniperistus. That's going to be a tongue twister. With Sniperistus in the jungle. I did link profile in. But I actually didn't
69
know.
wins in ranked there. Ooh, you can tell it's already gone.
It's already over. It's going to be a win for guys in real life.
Yep, I suppose I should probably pull up something on the jungler, have a look, so I can talk about what they've picked. Make sure it's nothing that's super off-brand for him.
Yeah. I feel like we're just filling the air here whilst we're just waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, they're gonna
Just
leave the
these
account at
few minute
69 wins.
frames.
Perfect. Everyone loves a good 16. Okay, moving on.
Oh god. Don't ban
Moving
me,
on.
don't.
So, I don't know. Oh yes, I really love the abbreviation of guys in real life spelling out girl.
I think they
10
did
out of
that on
10.
purpose. They definitely did that on purpose.
They have to have done it on purpose, but it is brilliant. Is there any particular picks you would love to see out of players?
Not necessarily giving away you know they're going to
No,
play.
okay.
I would love to see them pick great champions that they're comfortable on.
Great
Lovely.
champions. Perfect.
Some meta picks, you know what I mean?
Some meta picks. Okay. I mean, from the side of guys IRL, I have noticed Preston does have some very interesting control mage picks you don't tend to see very often in Victor and Malzahar.
And the Lissandra. I want to see the
honestly,
Lissandra.
You want to see the Lissandra?
I feel like
I'd
she's
quite like
so
to see one of those.
underrated.
Troll Zoe, of course, plays a lot of things. I would prefer to see him playing something like the Soraka. I think he's best on those enchanted champions.
Yep.
And honestly, he plays pretty good at Soraka. We see the Zac band. I think that's a pretty good ban.
Yeah, Zac bans straight into Mr. Old there. Honestly,
Yeah, my notes on it say, "Holy shit, the Zac permaban this champ." So that should give you some idea of where that ban happens as the first ban.
I mean, yeah, last I checked, he was holding up a 65% win rate. Obviously, that was like 2 weeks ago, so things are going to change, but it was in a decent amount of games. Returning, of course, with the Hecarim ban. I didn't actually look at Sniperistus' profile, so I don't know if that's something that he plays.
He has played Hecarim recently. Maybe it was in game 1. Who knows? Caitlyn being banned says that they don't want to priority Caitlyn for Zabatori. I don't remember where are my notes. Yeah, he doesn't tend to play the Caitlyn. He does play the Ashe.
He does actually have both Ashe and Caitlyn as possible picks for him, but...
Wow, Dr. Mundo.
Quite a low win rate on it. Dr. Mundo is a strange one. I didn't have Yamato having played any Dr. Mundo. Potentially it's a jungle
it's a game
ban.
1 ban. See?
Potentially game 1 or jungle ban.
Yes. And the Yasuo onto wins. We're never going to get to see wins Yasuo. I'm sorry, wins.
Not too surprising there, really.
And then the Yone, of course, thrown back. Honestly, if every game could have those two banned, I'd be a much happier person.
Honestly, I don't mind seeing it, but I think especially Yasuo just locks out a lot of champions from the game, which I think is really unhealthy. I would like to see changes to his win pool made one day, but I don't think they're ever going to be able to, because he's got too many fans of his current kit.
No, but you actually first pick Evelyn for Sniperistus. How do you feel about
cocky.
this?
I
It is
wouldn't like it
bold.
as first pick. Of course, Sniperistus is on a level 52 account, so potentially doesn't have many champions, has to pick the jungle first. But you can play around the fact Evelyn is picked.
Yeah, so how would you like to see SAS play into the fact that this is a first pick Evelyn?
Well, Evelyn doesn't do well into tanks. You know that, right? So,
Yep.
I would like, the vibe pick is really good into Evelyn. Once you spot Evelyn, you just
Anyone
her,
that
lock
can
her down.
lock Evelyn down is an amazing pick. You do have to be a bit careful because Evelyn's charm does shred magic resist, and she can really, especially in those 1v1s, smash through one tank. Senna, just a strong ADC or support.
I expect to see that on Troll Zoe. When I was doing a bit of scouting earlier, honestly,
Troll Zoe
most of
plays
Troll
it.
Zoe's profile was just Senna.
Yeah, we definitely scouted them, and Senna was up there as a ban. I think that's something that we were probably going to ban second phase, but they definitely got Senna. Oh, they get Senna Ashe. Okay.
I think that's an interesting pairing, especially considering you banned the Caitlyn. I think if you're planning to pick Senna Ashe and neither of them are banned, you can let the Caitlyn through. Ashe is, of course, the counter pick to Caitlyn, meaning that it does fairly well into Caitlyn. It's not going to smash Caitlyn, but it does fine. And Senna has the same range as Caitlyn starting from the start of the game, has the heals to help you live through the Caitlyn lane. Can be pretty obnoxious for Caitlyn to play into, so I don't think they really needed to spend a ban on Caitlyn if this was their planned pick. Lucian might struggle.
Yeah, you don't know if that's going to be a Lucian mid or Lucian top, though, so...
That's true. Lucian does have the potential flex, potential, so it'll be interesting to see what's locked in next, if that will give anything away about where the Lucian is. if they could get a potential another flex pick locked in, this would really screw with how Girl want to make their last 2 picks.
Obviously, Shenban coming out on to solo now. I was about to say last spelling, that's what's in my notes. Honestly, I think we've seen Solo play Shen a couple times in previous matches, and just the impact Stand United has.
It's interesting to see here with most of his picks banned out what Preston will fall back to. I would expect to see maybe Cassiopeia or Victor, or Cassiopeia, Victor, or Lissandra are the 3 that I'm expecting him to pick one between. I think any of them, honestly, here are pretty good.
I mean, you know which one I want. I want to see that Lissandra coming out. If you can hear me, Preston. Lissandra.
But we can expect to see in the top lane, meaning that you know this is going to be a Lucian either mid or ADC. It's an interesting to keep that hidden until last, but I think that was probably the right thing to do. Urgot as a blind pick is kind of safe. It's okay.
And the Ziggs pick up for Preston. And
Do
this is
have a lot of
Beijing.
CC with Senna Ashe. Garen can do fine. And there's the Akali. Yeah, I'm not really sure about the Ziggs pickup. Ziggs does terribly into Lucian. And into Akali, I can't imagine him doing much better. I guess your E can screw them up, but you don't want to be maxing your E.
Plus,
Maybe
I
you
think I'm
do.
pretty sure Shroud is bigger than the Ziggs E.
It is.
Although I think, okay, so as long as Preston uses that W launch, I believe the W and the Akali E are on similar cooldowns, which should hopefully help him get him through the lane phase. I think he's just looking to play this as, you know, don't let wins get on me with the Akali, just farm the waves, get as much gold and XP as possible without letting wins, you know, get solo kill there.
Honestly, I don't like the pick. I would have liked to see a higher CC pick with the way SAS is drafted right now, where they want to move. A lot of their team is just sort of about running forwards, and it's quite a good team comp actually for just running forwards. The kiting's actually okay as well, just because of Swain. He can provide pretty decent kiting with his W and his E.
Yep.
But I would be expecting to see them a very forwards attitude here, which will be interesting to see if it works. Ashe Senna makes it very hard to play that kind of style, but they haven't drafted a mid lane that goes along with that style at all, so it could work out.
Yeah, so what Preston does lack in, you know, CC and... I mean, I guess he's got the W for mobility to help him escape.
has a lot
Ziggs
of
is still an
damage.
incredibly long range mage. So
He has a lot of damage, but you have an Evelynn. You've created the double AP into the mid lane, so Akali can just take an MR rune here and be pretty happy with that choice.
yeah, so how do you rate the comp? So
How do I rate the comps?
yeah, as our
So
guest, now you can talk about this.
Okay, I rate the comps. Yo, so SAS definitely need to focus on warding. Really tracking down this Evelynn, because once she hits 6, like, you really need to track her down. If you're not tracking her down, she's going to be rampant, and she could snowball this game out of control early on in the game. So if they can control the Evelynn early, I think SAS has a chance. Definitely, girl, they have an interesting comp.
It's a bit all
interesting.
over the place.
I mean, they can find picks. It's mostly picks, so you're going to try to lead with an Ashe R, or you're going to see if Evelynn can do a flank with a Charm Q. That's what I'm seeing, what they're going to try to gauge for. But definitely, late game wise, it's going to be harder for them to.
Honestly, as the game goes on, I wouldn't be surprised to see if Yamato gets that lead for Guys RL to just say, I mean, we've got a Ziggs, crazy good wave clear. We've got Ashe, also decently good wave clear. If they just hold these 2 side lanes and keep pressuring them, whilst Yamato and that Garen just are hard pressures either top or bot. Because if Yamato gets that far ahead, it's going to be... I don't know what SAS will have to be able to, you know, face that.
Well, you have Urgot that can face the Garen.
I mean, yes. So I suppose I should in that same. I'm assuming if Yamato wins the lane and gets decently far ahead of solo on the Urgot.
Right.
Should make that a little bit clearer. Yeah, because Wins is going to struggle because an Akali into a Garen is already just not going to be fun for an Akali.
Yeah,
Even the Shroud is not a safe place. You can just spin to it, and your Shroud's not safe.
I personally don't like the Akali pick here. I was expecting probably Ori or Zoe to really round out their comp.
I think it fits a lot with the going forwards attitude on just
Right.
wanting to pick out the back line. But yeah, considering... Well, actually, they changed Akali a bit, so she's more magic damage focused, so it's not too bad. I was going to say, because you've already got a fairly AD heavy comp, and Akali's partly AD damage, more so than other mid laners. It's a bit of an awkward thing to pick.
Actually, speaking of Akali, opting for the electrocute over the fleet footwork, because you see a lot of Akalis. Wins obviously
Confident.
being very confident in this lane, yeah.
And we're starting to load into game.
And the flip side of that, you say you're in game.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in game.
Oh, I am not in game. Okay, so we're gonna have a quick fast forward at the beginning of the game. Quick flip side on that, Preston also running Ignite, which surprises me as well because that suggests to me that Preston is very confident and very, happy in that matchup on the Ziggs.
I think it's okay. I would have expected almost more. I think it's good for them to have both the Ignite and the Exhaust, but I almost would have expected them to be the other way around. Troll Zoe to have the Exhaust and Preston to... No, Troll Zoe to have the Ignite and Preston to have the Exhaust, because late game you want the Exhaust to exhaust either Swain as he ults in your team, or the Akali, because the amount of healing Akali can get done is quite frankly insane.
Pretty good. We are in game though, on my screen at least anyway. Let's put everyone back into
They
order.
They both just fanned out.
The life of just not having an
Nothing to
SSD.
They both fanned out. There's nothing really to see early on. There were some holes in where there could be invades, but no one invaded, so...
Yep. Also, no
Nothing.
wards dropped early on too. Actually, we see Host there is stepping up with auto kill. We'll drop that ward onto the Wraith camp. Just trying to map out where Sniperess is. Clearing. Words. They're difficult.
In terms of items taken early, no, nothing weird. Nothing I
Yeah,
expect
pretty standard.
different.
So, actually, what's almost surprised me a little bit is to see both junglers starting bottom side here. Because I feel like in this I don't think we're going to see much from Sniperess this insert again. Evelyn needs that level 6 to really be a huge threat with the damage output. Actually, decent trace point in this bottom lane. Does look
Yeah,
like
the
it's gonna fantastic.
unfortunate-
Hosea stepping forward again on about 100 health flash and heal force.
Both burn, and they both had to be burnt there. The double flash forwards from Cholzo and
Oh,
Zabutor
but actually,
would've-
catching onto Zabutori with that grab,
Zabutori's
Ignite going
dead.
down. The flash forward from Hostler into that last auto will be first blood onto Zabutori. We still got jungle pathing. We've got first blood in bot lane already.
So, yeah.
Oh, actually, Zoe getting caught by that hook as well is forced to flash away.
So
Sorry.
something worth noting, Evelyn can be good at ganking, but she needs her lane to have CC to keep the enemy laner there while her charm actually charges up, because a lot of her damage comes from that charm actually, because the amount of magic resist
Oh.
shred that it gives.
Nice flash from Preston.
Doesn't
Yeah.
flash.
Good
Um,
flash and good gank to just get the flash out.
I mean, yeah, as we jump back to this Evelyn point, Garen doesn't have that hard CC to lock someone down for that charm duration. Ziggs doesn't have that hard CC to lock someone down for that charm duration. It is just Zabutori and Trollzo with that. But starting bottom side does mean that, there's not going to be the steady gank bot lane, there's not going to be that pressure there. So honestly, I'm not expecting to see a whole lot from Sniperess in this first sort of 5 minutes in the game. Oh, Trollzo actually getting caught by that hook again.
So I would like to see a bottom focus though from the Evelyn. You can
Oh,
really
Wynn's
push
actually
the
catching
Swain.
out Sniperus is here. It is the 2v2. The flash key current from Mr. Oldie doesn't
Sniperus has
connect.
to
But Preston
flash
actually
him.
jumping over this wall, putting himself into the range of that Akali. And now in the 3v3 as Solo
Failed
turns
flash
up.
from Sniper.
Yamato caught out on his own.
A
Will be
nice
flashing away.
satchel charge. Nice satchel charge there. Keeps Yamato alive. We did see a fail flash from Sniper over the wall as well.
Oh, no, speaking of flashes, so flashing onto Sniperus but not connecting that not throwback.
Sniper is dead.
But
No
Sniperus
flash.
just no flash with the red buff slow on him. Will be giving that kill
Oh.
over to Solo. And a pause comes out as Zabatori disconnects from the game.
Apparently having some lag issues. Yeah. So as I was saying before, fighting continually broke out. I would like to see the punish of this Swain pick. Personally, I think Swain is a terrible pick as a support. He has very low CC and can be punished quite easily with ganks, especially if you're pushing. And it looks like they're pushing.
Yeah, so these, early
I
bot
think
lane
that's a good
skirmishes,
way.
I don't know how much of that could be due to, obviously, Zabatori's connection issues there. I don't know if that was paused straight away, or whether he's been having those over the time. Either way, can we actually look at it? Yes, we can. Ultra Kill's already 500 gold over Zabatori. Got a whole wave of CS ahead of him, and the kill.
So that's
Looking
quite
rough.
important. You need your Lucian to get ahead.
Sorry, I had no water all game. Okay.
You need your
So-
Lucian to get ahead. In the mid lane, we see a slight CS lead and gold advantage for the Ziggs. The Akali is also pushing, so I expect Ziggs is going to pick up a little bit more CS. Then Akali get a little bit more of a lead. The Vi is slightly ahead in terms of gold on the Evelyn. It's not so big of an issue. When Evelyn starts to get her items, she'll really farm up that jungle pretty quickly.
Especially as now when Cypress's drops, there is, if you look at the rest of his jungle, the only thing up that, most oldie could steal is the Krugs. And for him to get to that, he would have to walk through those two mid towers.
And the real issue for Girl right now is Solo just got a massive gold injection. The Garen was actually slightly ahead in gold. I'm not sure how the XP values matched up, but the extra 400, or was it 400? 300 actually, going into Solo's pocket for that kill, really has brought him ahead of the Garen. And that could be very impactful.
You can also see from the top lane, it's actually pushing towards him, so you expect him to even grow that lead even further.
Yep, I would love to see him attempt to freeze the wave. Very hard to do on Urgot.
Yeah.
But try and freeze the wave here because you know Evelyn's not topside. You just killed her. In fact, he can take it back. It might even be right for him to take it back here. By the time he gets back to lane, that should push into him. And he should be able to pick up most of the CS. I think, is that a cannon wave? That is a cannon wave coming up, so it should take a while to die. So I'd like to see actually the back.
But it looks
Back, spend that small
like
lead.
does actually have blue buff, so it looks like he's just going to walk up instead of taking that recall there.
So this is something people tend to do a lot, where you get a small advantage in gold, and because you don't actually spend it early, you lose that advantage. Because if you haven't spent the gold, that advantage doesn't actually exist. If it's in your pocket, the gold does nothing. You
If
basically
anything,
don't have the gold.
based on gold spent, technically Yamato's got the advantage in this top lane just based on the gold spent.
Yep, coming back to that top lane, Yamato will have the advantage. He has also not used the teleport to get back here because Solo's attempted to push it in, but it was a cannon wave. It takes a while to kill, so Yamato was able to just walk back to lane.
Yep, and he's actually not going to miss any of that. That's a little bit rough for Solo. If he had actually taken the reset, after that, pick up kill onto Sniperesses, the wave would have been pushing into him, and Yamato would have lost. Much
So
more than he's
Solo-
going to lose now.
Will take the reset now. We'll get a small advantage from it. Actually, considering that the money was spent on Boots Dagger from Garen, there's a fairly big advantage having the Phage over that.
Yeah,
We'll
I
have to
think
see how this plays out.
with only 600 gold, is there anything you would have preferred to see Yamato pick up?
No, I think from Yamato, I think an early cloth armor at this point, when you're into the Urgot and you know you're going to be slightly behind, I think that's going to be a lot more useful than the dagger will be.
Yeah, I feel like this dagger is hinting at us we're going to see first item Triforce coming out from Yamato.
I'd expect to see Ninja Tabby picked up anyway, so honestly, the cloth armor I think will be a much better pickup for you.
Especially now considering he is behind in this lane. Actually, Cypress is going to be showing bot lane. Actually, will get caught by Jose's grab, but the root landing onto autokill will actually catch both him and Jose out. And the charm landing onto autokill, forcing the heal. Jose trying to face tank anything he can there to keep autokill alive.
So an exhaust spent, exhaust and heal spent on the side of girl, heal spent on the side of SAS. Overall,
I have a feeling this might not be done as we see Mr. Oldie coming into this bottom side bush. Actually, he's going to get spotted up by a ward. Yeah, walking straight away there.
SAS pretty happy with that. You can see how Solo's getting the winning trades here. All that dagger's really giving Yamato is the extra attack speed, which is not that useful, and a little bit more spin speed on his E, which is great, but you're pretty far behind.
Stacked on Conquer fast. Actually, do the grab landing on Troll Zoe. Bot lane trades coming out almost constantly this game. We're going to pick up on, happened a little while back actually, we did see Mr. Oldie just solo the first round of the game. Is going to be a Cloud Drake. Second Drake going to be Infernal, so we're either seeing a Mountain or an Ocean Rift. Actually, it's not like solo for a heavy trade. Ultimate is available, isn't going to hit onto Yamato.
Oh, man.
Very close, but Cypress is there to follow up. Yamato actually stepping forward as well. The charm is going to time out. And actually, Solo with no mana, Yamato is able to run in with that empowered Q and take that kill on. Actually, the kill going to be going over to Cypheristus. Honestly, wins resolve. It's actually sitting there. He's looking for him. Level 5 only on Cypress. Win resolve is level 6. Can use that ultimate. First charge coming out. Cypress is just trying to heal off the Skull Crab, but it's not going to be enough. Win resolve picking up a nice kill there.
Yeah, Evelyn, very squishy champion early. Very squishy champion the entire game, in fact.
We're not done. Yamato stepping forward with Preston there. Wins. Is going to hit that dash onto Yamato. Yeah, it's looking like he's done here. He's got his small win. He's finished off Cypress.
Interesting movement there. Zero, the bot lane for girl seems to be struggling a little bit. They're down some CS. When that all evens out, should be about 15 CS difference.
Oh, and we do see Victoria in that mid lane. Preston has got that bomb ready.
Trying to use the satchel charge.
Alongside the center ultimate will get the shield. But the ultimate, with the area not going to be enough to be wins. Hiding that shroud, Mr. Oldie just trying to be a distraction. But the Flash Ignite will finish off wins in from the ultimate. Yamato will pick up that second kill onto Mr. Oldie. A nice turnaround actually from Guy's IRL.
Nice turnaround, nice roam down from Yamato. No, he is going to lose quite a bit from this wave. Actually, let's see how Urgot's doing in terms of freezing the wave. It's very hard.
Has got the cannon and forecasters, so actually, forecasters and the melee, so it's actually switching towards him. But of course, Urgot
shotgun knees makes it very, very hard for an Urgot to freeze the wave. You can do it with your W, although only really when the W is at max rank.
Do you see Sniperist is now level 6, is in the spot lane. It's not going to be spotted out. Waiting possibly for engage by Zabatori. It does have that enchanted crystal arrow available.
Don't think he's been
Charm
spotted
landing,
yet.
but actually the enchanted crystal arrow going to hit onto Lord Hostlair. Charm will not connect with Hostlair, will pop that ultimate, but huge amounts of damage coming out. Cypress will use that ultimate to finish him off. Autokill just getting away there.
Swain, an extremely squishy champion with no movement abilities and no real easy to use CC, can be punished quite heavily in bot lane.
I think they were aiming for, actually, never mind, wins off Flash, using that first chance of the ultimate to pick up Cypress. This does land that E, we use the ultimate too, but actually the damage coming out from Preston, he will finish it off. Preston will take up that kill onto wins. 1 for 1, and Preston actually looking at this goal in this mid lane, ahead in gold, yeah, with that small CS lead. And the assist gold as well. But actually, the root landing onto auto kill. The heal is there, but it's not going to be enough with both Zabatori and Troll Zoe there. We're not finished meanwhile in this bit. Mr. Oldie using that assault and battery onto Preston. Actually using that flash forward to get on the other side.
Honestly,
Off
a
that
beautiful
satchel
flash
bomb.
from Mr. Oldie, knowing that the satchel charge was going to be used, flashing so that he actually gets knocked by the satchel charge straight after Ziggs.
That'd be shutdown gold going onto Mr. Oldie. Did also pick up the Herald during the bot lane. That last gank from Cypress, so to get a small
again.
comeback.
Yamato fighting
Running
inside the
into
wave.
Solo there.
Yeah, runs into a 7 or 8 minion strong wave to fight. Not great.
Maybe it was all
Yes.
the bait for Sniperistas coming in behind him there. The charm is out. Solo going to that bush, but actually will get hit by the charm.
Nice hit. Doesn't
And electrocute from the smite as well, but Solo will be dashing away
Flash
there.
E
Lands a
with the
slow onto
slow.
both of them, but flash forward from Yamato will get the ultimate and finish.
honestly
it
at that
off.
point, well played from Solo to force the flash out at the very least.
Meanwhile, Hostler just being a presence in this bot lane, but actually will turn around with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow in to the
And
Senna ultimate, which name just left me there.
Swain is a squishy champion with no mobility and not much CC. Yeah, that's don't walk up on your own as Swain. Just don't.
Distraction techniques, maybe. I don't think it needed to be done. Maybe slightly overcompensating.
And it
Considering
looks like they might-
this was Nub top lane.
We're going for another top
Speaking
gank.
of, yeah.
Solo is trying to hold this wave here. It was a nice attempt. The cannon unfortunately just goes into the tower. He does manage to pick it up.
Looks like they're gonna leave him alone in that top lane. Not quite diveable yet for Cypress and Preston. How much gold is Preston? Preston's sitting on 1,000 gold, so almost able to finish that Loon's Echo. How
So
far
S-
is the Gabblit actually? Yeah, decent away. About 60. No. about
SAS
1,000
do
gold
have 2 dragons. They do have the Herald still to use.
Where would you actually
know
like to see them
Evelyn's
use
top.
this Herald?
They're gonna really struggle to push in that mid lane. Honestly, I would just use it for chip damage in the mid lane. When you get the second Herald, you can use it to break the tower. I don't think you have any real way to get that tower otherwise.
Just a huge amount of wave clear from Ziggs anyway, and then with Loon's Echo on top of that.
From Ziggs, and your siege potential, honestly, as SAS here is absolutely terrible. You don't really have much range at all. The longest
They're
range
actually going to
champion
get
is
caught by that grab from Host there. Mr. Oldie and Autokill are there, but Troll Zoe is alone going for vision. nice
I'm not
pickup
sure I
by
would have
CS.
taken the kill as Oldie. Might have tried to give it over to Autokill there, get him even further ahead. But
Especially
you know
when
what?
there's no
Secure the
summons
kill.
available on Troll
Make
Zoe.
sure.
Actually, interesting, Troll Zoe used the exhaust set. Never mind, the charm actually landing onto Solo. Huge damage coming out from Yamato and Sniper Assist and using that.
And here we go. Rather than focusing on the bot lane to really smack down this Swain, they're instead deciding to smack down the Urgot. I think that's completely fine.
And we do see Zabro get engaged on this bot lane. Does use the flash and the heal to get away from Host Slayer and Autokill there. But yeah, I like this decision making
say,
from Sniperistas. He's saying, you know, bot lane is
Takes a lot
going to be
of
what bot lane is. Actually, never mind. Mr. Oldie coming in with the wall with that Assault Battery, donating a kill over to Autokill. And that'll be dropping the Herald there as well as they raise the first tower here. It's looking like it's going to be going over to SAS, who are already one plating ahead and do have that Herald. Oh, but actually, it does go over to SAS, a very close finish there. Wins actually here looking for Sniperistas, but in the 1v2
and the charm
in
lands.
the Shroud, the charm landing. And
Very
the
good
ultimate,
predict from Sniper.
not going to be enough. Sniperistas is going to be dodging that ultimate from Solo. This is a bad time for a frame drop. Use that Hourglass from Wins, but the ultimate from Tolzo will finish him off as Solo is now in that 2v1 and Cypress and Yamato just
He has to be
slowly whittling him
careful of
down.
Evelyn.
Looks like Solo might be getting out alive here, but it's actually stepping back forward. Yamato doesn't have ultimate, Cypress doesn't have ultimate, but of course with that Evelyn passive will be healing up a decent amount of health there.
I do like to see red control wards are being taken up by SAS.
And Solo
is the
gonna
only
get
way
charmed and Cypress is just gonna finish him off there. I feel like my
It's the only way to
lane.
stop an Evelyn or catch out an Evelyn is to have the red trinkets down.
Yep, and 2 on the side of SAS. Gonna be needing some more coming in soon. With
They
somebody
have
there. So,
4 in their
trying to
events
pick out
though.
Yamato, but Sniperist is there once again. Flashes, but the charm. Actually, the Q charge, but the charm will still land. Now auto kill in the 1v2, forced to flash away. The ultimate from Cypress will get him out of its tower range, but auto kill sitting on 200 health. Twin Resolve is not finished actually here, going out forward, igniting Cypress, but taking so much damage. We'll be
And
trading
auto
1 for
kill's
1, and
dead
auto kill
as well.
finished off by that super massive bomb from Preston.
And there goes your buff transfer to Ziggs.
Oh man, this is a messy game coming out from SAS. Like misclicking on Lucian R, not missing
It
the
might have
Urgot
been
R.
an
Oh man.
potential predict there that the Evelyn would be trying to go over the wall instead of back down the lane, but yeah, in the end it misses and just looks a bit silly.
I think messy is honestly the right way to describe this. As Preston rotates down for the bot lane, 1W and that tower is dead. They don't need the wave. You see, Preston's just going to walk forward, use that Hex Bomb on the tower, actually going to catch Host there as well, forced to ult, but it doesn't matter, as Troll Zoe and Zavatore are there just to finish him off.
And here we see a very important dragon.
First
It is
mountain.
only the third potential Drake for SAS. Oldie's
Mr. Oldie
going
getting
in.
huge
Oh,
damage
Sniper.
onto Sniper Assist, but is returned. But the
Takes him
Assault
out,
Battery
has that
will
flash.
finish him off, flashing away from Preston there. But Wynn's actually going ahead onto Troll Zoe. It's stuck between Troll Zoe and Preston here.
Troll Zoe has a lot of health.
It's actually not doing enough damage, and the 4-man from Guys IRL will just
This is the
finish off
Grasp
Wynn's.
Senna building the Frozen Mallet first. You can't really burst through that. And very important, Drake that they pick up because it delays the potential soul from the side of SAS.
Yep, it's going to deny them Soul Point. We first mountain going over to Guys IRL. And honestly, this feels like a small turning point for them. They are going to trade in Mr. Oldie with Solo, are going to pick up that second Herald.
And honestly, mountains, they love to get mountains in this
Actually, Martin has
situation.
other plans with that
Oh.
Q and the ultimate. We'll finish off Mr. Oldie, and now
And they get the
Solo
Rift
is
Herald.
there. Actually, Yamato
Everything's
was the
going
one to
wrong for
finish off the
SAS right
Herald.
now.
SAS sort of having to flash away, but Yamato
Nice
with that move
ultimate to
speed is
engage.
there. Meanwhile, we did see Sniper Assist just the charm into the full combo with the ultimate. Delete auto kill from the map.
It was a very nice ultimate usage to engage there from Sniper, knowing that couldn't get close enough without it.
And now it's just Wins and Host there. Wins actually not having the damage quite to finish off Sniper Assist. Has finished that Gunblade now, but
Here you can see the Garen who's got ahead is now a real problem. The passive giving him all of that extra resistance is making him very tanky, and Mountain is just an absolute pain for SAS to get through.
and the more of these mountains that Guys IRL pick up, the harder it's going to be for SAS to deal with Yamato's Garen. Actually, Mr. Oldie going for just a bit of wave clear there, but Yamato will be able to run forward, auto kill, and Host there will have enough to finish him off there, but Mr. Oldie getting
Garen has
scarily low there.
built no defensive items and has 119 armor right now. That's, yeah, very hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, just going across the board, looking at important item pickups, of course, Yamato did finish that Triforce. We do see Sniper Assist is looking towards finishing that Spellbinder. Preston, of course, has that finished Ludens looking towards that Lichbane. Zavatore did just buy that finished bit of the Ruin King, as well with Trollzoe having that Frozen Mallet. So we're looking at least one completed item on each member of Guys RL. On the flip side, we do actually have
And
only 4 members. Actually, Host there have forced
Decides
to
to
flash
use the
away from the
flash.
Supermassive Bomb, but the flash forward from Preston isn't going to
Ooh,
find him.
Trollzoe
But
getting
Mr.
Preston
Oldie is
out.
there, but ulting through the minefield. It's going to be a huge amount of damage. Autokill going to be using that culling to pick up one kill. Trollzoe not falling. Wind Resolve getting that just last bit of damage to finish him off, but now Autokill left in this 1v2. Solo will show up. It's not enough as Zavatore does finish him off with those
Gets the
few
ultimate off,
auto
though.
attacks. So actually, the ultimate from Solo will finish off Zavatore. Now we're just seeing this 1v1 from the top lane, 4 for 4, and it looks like free kill for Yamato as Solo is just unable to really trade anything back onto him.
A lot happened there. Overall,
5 for 4.
5 for 4. But gold difference was the exact same pickup for each team due to the bounties. So realistically, no change. You could argue this might be slightly good for SAS, who are slightly behind on items. It gets them towards those second item spikes quicker.
Yeah, that did finish Auto Kill's Infinity Edge. It finished Host Laird's Roa. Wind Resolve finished off his Sorcerer Shoes. And no pickups really notable on ulti or solo.
So the main things I'm looking at now are for SAS to try and stall out this game to win.
Yes.
Vi has her Triforce specifically is the big point. You don't really want to be taking fights until Vi has that Triforce completed. because it's such a big power spike for her, and she's sort of half a champion without it.
Yeah, she's past that point in the early game where Hail of Blades was enough to make her this frightening force to be dealt with.
And she doesn't have Sheen either.
And yeah,
Flash
actually the flash into the charm wins is in that shroud, but there's the damage coming out. Sniper uses the ultimate to finish him off there. A nice execute coming out there. Meanwhile, we do see the Herald put in the bottom lane, pressing his W to finish that tower.
Culling used to just get through the Herald.
It does feel like it's slowly crumbling for SAS as guys IRL start on this Baron. So you
What
see
they need
SAS
here
do have the
is-
vision in the back of the pit. It's actually not going to be spotted there.
It's worth noting, they
As well
have
as their vision
pretty good wave clear on SAS. They can choose to give this up and just try and wave clear their way through the Baron minions.
And that Baron half L solo approaching from the
But I
side.
think they're going to fight.
Is actually going to get the root landed onto him.
Hostlayer pops the ultimate,
Hostlayer
goes
pops the
into the
ultimate.
pit.
Must already
there
hovering
he
inside the
goes.
pit, comes over the pit, does actually
Secured
not
by
secure
Evelyn.
the steal. And now in the 2 for 0, 3 for 0, 2 for 0, and yes, solo is and also are just left to run away as Yamato runs into the backline of SAS. Actually looking a bit low, auto kill will finish off.
The charm onto Wind's
Okay,
Resolve
there.
could be massive if he falls here.
Does actually have the flash to get away, but the slow coming out from Troll Zoe. Be a double kill going over to Preston.
It's just a bit too much.
There's so much going on in that Baron pit there.
And they'll pick up a second Mountain Drake here. Looks like they're planning to push 2 lanes at once.
Yeah, but I
think that's
expect
okay.
Snipers just to
I
solo
would've-
that second dragon there. As yeah,
Auto
mid
kill.
tower falls, Preston obviously having that explosive bomb to finish off towers.
Satchel charge to finish off
Charge,
powers,
yep.
yep.
It's remembering all the different names of the bombs and Ziggs. It's not one we've seen before.
Honestly, the only one I remember is Satchel charge.
I'm pretty sure
the
that ult
dumb-
is like dumb, like super massive
Super
bomb.
mega bomb or something?
Something like
that. It is. We can
have a
see
look.
that the Akali
Yes,
is
Mega
building...
Inferno bomb.
Akali's building towards the Zhonya's second. How do you feel about that, having played Akali before?
Honestly, I feel like Wynn's problem right now isn't that he's not surviving. I mean, yes, the problem is that Wynn isn't surviving, but I feel like a lot more of Wynn's problem is that he goes in and his damage is just... Guys IRL can ignore him.
Abysmal is the word.
Yeah, abysmal is a word, we can use that. So if he goes... In fact, yeah, he's got the broken stopwatch as well, so it is looking like he's going to finish that Hourglass. I mean, I would have much preferred to see... Honestly,
Void Staff,
actually, never
for
mind,
example.
we got 3 members of SAS looking towards Yamato, solo flashing forward, isn't going to get that toss onto Yamato.
They're
Will
forcing
land
this
the
hard.
slow. Yamato, of course, with that Q is pretty difficult to catch. But yeah, I wouldn't have gone for the Void Staff, as, I mean, Yamato is the only one
Where
with
is
MR.
Saboteur right now?
Saboteur is
He's
in the bottom
sitting
river,
in the jungle.
which
They might
is
not get this tower
interesting.
because
Mr.
of
Oldie actually
that.
going to go forward onto Preston, but a nice route coming out from Troll Zoe. Actually, the ultimate not landing from Cypress,
Ouch,
but it
that
doesn't
burst.
matter. But Winds Resolve and Solo are here to finish him off. That's a nice bit of goal going on to Winds Resolve, and it's just Troll Zoe and Preston there. Looks like they're going to let them away with their lives as we retreat to this mid lane. We do see Zabatori there with those Baron minions. Inhibitor is open, but it doesn't look like Zabatori wants to step forward in to win Zakali. Probably the
So
better choice
interestingly, this is quite smart here to leave the inhibitors up, try and get as many of the outer towers as you can instead.
Yep.
Because every inhibitor you break, especially when there's nothing up for you to take, extra XP and gold to be farming.
Maybe
So you
I
want to
just-
wait and really break those inhibitors at the points where soon you'll be having objectives coming up. So you've got a few minutes left.
Yeah, seeing we've actually got just under 3 minutes on the Dragon, just over 3 minutes on the Baron. We could potentially see a trade in those 3 minutes. This next round will be putting either team onto Soul Point, but not Soul. This is gonna...
Yep. I'd expect to see more focus on the Baron, realistically.
Honestly, I'd expect to see the Baron focus from guys RL, especially considering, you know, top tower is... Let's just have a quick look at the top tower's health there. Is, I think, just outside of the range for the Satchel Bomb to finish off there. But, you know, one Lichbane auto and a Satchel Bomb, I think that tower is dead. And then
Yeah,
that'll
considering
have
you have
at
the
least
Ziggs.
2 open inhibitors.
That's a route onto Mr. Oldie.
And Mr. Oh yeah, getting the root,
almost
the
falls.
ultimate from Troll Zoe is in all range for Sniper Assist, but the Mega Inferno Bomb does pick him off on that edge.
Look how tanky Yamato is. He's not
with
built
Auto Kill actually
any
flashing
resist.
forward with
Oh,
that
he's built a
root.
little bit.
But with autokill and host layer there, it's not much that Yamato can do there.
That is a very important pickup. This is the time they would potentially want to kill an inhib.
Actually, Cypress is going for
oh,
that
God.
huge damage onto Solo, almost one-shotting him. Wind Resolve is
that's
there
the
trying
game.
to finish him off, but it just doesn't matter with those center heals keeping Cypress just topped up there. And it's just autokill alive as the rest of guys IRL are working their way through these next towers. Do you have a
Autokill
cannon
could-
wave there? Especially with
Could
Lich
potentially
Bane
defend
on
this,
Preston.
but he needs to play it perfectly. He needs
Lich
to get
Bane's
that wave out.
It's tough.
But no,
Nice bit of
it's too
damage
late.
coming out there. And such a one will destroy second next tower.
Oldie
And
going
actually
for the
looking at the
ultimate
end.
Preston.
Flash forward on Cypress will finish off autokill there, but Oldie is there. Preston looking super low.
Pick it up.
They'll trade it
Both
one for
ADCs
one.
still
but
alive.
This is now 3
That'll
members
be the
of Guys
game.
IRL
Game
And
2 goes to guys
no one.
IRL.
alive from SAS.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That happened.
From the draft, that was really not how I expected that to go.
Exactly.
Yep. Bit unfortunate when you fall behind with the team that SAS has drafted. It's very hard to come back. Lucian is a pick that needs to really dominate. Vi needs to get to her 2 items, which takes a very long time, and if you don't get there in time, it's going to be pretty hard. Akali just couldn't get to the backline. Was being stopped by Evelyn the entire time. I think it would have been potentially worth just going for these weird flanks that are unexpected, because he seemed to be trying to go in forwards straight from the front each time. Just wasn't really working out for them.
Yeah. Control, sorry. Looking into, of course, MVPs. Start with our winning side of guys IRL. Who do you guys feel stands out here?
Well, there's a few people you could give it to. Or there's quite a lot of people you could give it to. For me, I think Sniper played that really well on the Evelyn. He was where he needed to be. He was getting the charms. He was getting those ganks off on the top lane. That really allowed Yamato to get ahead in that lane and become the absolute terror of Garen towards the later stages of the game. And he was, a lot of the time, just hitting wins inside the shroud, predicting exactly where he was, knocking him with the Q so that the charm was used and they were able to pick up the kills onto the Akali before she managed to do anything.
I mean, yeah. How about you, Joshua? Who's your MVP for our winning side?
Oh, for the
Also,
winning
I,
side, I would. I will always spam that.
It's always the way.
I would give it to Evelyn. Like, she played the map well. Of course, probably bottom side, she couldn't really get dragons that early because Mr. Oldie is really good at securing the early drags, and they had that lead early bottom lane. Briefly.
Evelyn's dragon securing is pretty yikes early.
But she did a good job finding picks. I saw her standing behind Garen in lane. Of course, that's hard to predict. You're like, okay, well, where's this? Where's this Evelyn? Don't know. Evelyn's in lane. You already knew that got below flash, and then Evelyn just comes, abuses that, and yeah, like, she was a terror.
Honestly, I have to agree with you. Sniperist is having a huge performance that game. And props to him coming in as the sub for guys IRL. How about for our losing side for SAS? Who stood
SAS,
out to
I
you?
think I might give it to Autokill. Not just because he had the most kills, but I feel like the only real winning lane that they had was that bot lane, which was one that I wasn't really expecting to be won, especially so hard into an Ashe Senna. But they did manage to get that early lead. It's just unfortunately they didn't really manage to convert it into anything.
Yeah, I have to
was
agree with
playing
you on
okay.
that. I have to agree with you on that. I would definitely give it to Autokill. His positioning, yeah, he had a little hiccups here and there, but he played the bottom lane well. They got in laning phase. They did try to push their lead in, but Devlin was in their lane a lot, and they couldn't really. I don't know how to say it, but they couldn't really extend it to the potential that they wanted to.
Yeah, they couldn't convert their leads to any real map pressure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, props to both teams there. Right, so have you all got the Game 2 files?
I've loaded it, but I'm going to take a short toilet break. Feel free to talk
Cool.
about what the teams look like and stuff.
I
Would
do
you like a
not
break
have
as
it.
well? If you
That's a
look
good
in
point.
the replays for cast channel.
Okay.
There's a message there, yeah. So we're going to take a quick 30-second break whilst we
30
just
seconds,
prep.
mhm.
Not literally 30 seconds. So yeah, grab yourselves a drink, something to eat. You know the drill. We'll see you guys in a timer that I'm about to set in a few. Yes.
Interstellar night space, no one else sees. In the underground, we're living low key. Can give you peace here in your mind. And as I have found no place in the dead of night to come alive. Life is waiting on the other side. Follow me into the underground. Watch the world changing as the sun goes down. Follow me into the underground. Follow me into the
Hey. And we're back from our 1 minute and a bit break. I'm not sure if the other two are back.
I am back.
You're back,
Yeah,
nice.
literally
And
walked
you're-
in as.
Ah, lovely. That was quality timing, and it definitely was not intentional. Actually, wasn't the timer, literally just expired. So yeah. Did you both manage to get the Game 2 file up and ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Nice. So, let's just put everyone in order. That's right. Because I want to start before hitting swapping scenes, because of course the little spectator UI will spoil it. Anyone at home? So,
You can get rid of the timer at the top
I know, but you can't hit
and
play.
press P.
Oh,
P is play.
No, it is not. I obviously rebound P.
I see. Perfect.
Right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's count us in 3, 2, 1, play. There we go, and we will swap scenes to the in-game, where actually this
Quick rundown.
is now...
On the side of SAS, we have Shen in the top lane, Mr. Ollie's piloting Olaf in the jungle, we have Oriana in mid lane, Vayne and Rakan in that bot lane. Whereas over on the other side of Girl, we have Mundo in the top lane, which we saw banned game 2, no spoilers. We have Hecarim in the jungle, Yone in the mid, Ashe and Karma in that bot lane.
Thank you for that rundown. Any runes standing out to you?
The
It's
runes
been a long
that's
day,
really,
okay?
The runes that are really stacking out to me right now. We have the Comet on the Karma, which shows it's probably going to be quite an aggressive pokey lane. Not really long trades. If you're going for the longer trades, I would expect more to see the Aerie, because the Aerie will come back to you quicker than Comet will. In terms of who should have pressure early, I'd expect Wind Resolve to have pressure early in that mid lane. Shen probably has a little bit of pressure early into the Mundo, but will lose that, I expect, after level 2. Or level 3, even. Might be level 2. I'm not sure. I haven't played the matchup before. Vayne and Rakan definitely do not have the early pressure into Ashe and Karma. I'd expect them to lose unless Hostlayer can get off some really amazing grand entrance here. That just wins them the lane.
Thank you for that rundown. So, important thing to note, both junglers are going to be starting top side. So we could see some bot lane shenanigans early on in this game. As for wards put down, we did see that SAS did scout towards Guys IRL's bottom side, so they are going to know where Snipers is starting. On the flip side, Guys IRL have no idea where Mr. Oldie starts. So could be seeing something a little bit spicy coming out. And also, I'm very glad that we so before the stream started, Gabblit and myself, we were making sure we actually remembered or / knew the like ultimate names of these of both Lilia and Ioriaa. So I bet you one of these is going to come out if we don't quickly learn them. And it's paid off as Preston's picked up that Ioriaa.
Yes, because I totally remember what the name
Thank
of
you.
the ultimate was.
Actually, never mind. We see the level 2 engagement bot
Oh,
lane.
a nice
Troll
grand
Zoe.
entrance. But you see that early Ashe damage, especially paired with Karma, is pretty big.
Especially when they had that level advantage too. So, I mean, I suppose we can talk about the comps as a whole, as we'd usually do this in our spectators delay. How do you feel about the draft, sir?
Me?
Yeah, either of you.
Oh man, you go first, man.
Okay, so on the side of SAS here, I think their draft is pretty much a submarine draft. You've got Olaf, who's going to run forwards with the Shen ult on. Oh, we see an engage in the mid lane.
Yeah,
Wins
Wins
his
is going
ult,
to be
taking a
out
lot of
fine,
damage.
but Oldie is going to catch out Snipers with those Axtos. The ghost is meaning nothing as Axtos
He just
slows.
gets run down. Axtos slows, outdo Ghost.
You do
Yep, so
indeed.
it's the submarine comp. Olaf ults, runs in with Ori Ball on him, Shen ults onto Olaf, and you hope that the Shockwave manages to pull a lot of people in, and suddenly Olaf and Shen are there in the backline, get a lot of damage done.
That or they just blow their cooldowns onto this Olaf and that leaves Autokill on that Vayne free to do what he pleases.
And you also have the Rakan to run in with them, and Vayne's pretty good at running forwards.
With that quickness as well, yeah.
Nice small trade, Autokill not seeming to be in
Actually, the
line with
exhaust coming out.
Hostlayer
Troll
there.
Zoe and Zabatori doing huge amounts of pressure. The Ignite taking down is going to be enough to finish
Wow.
the Autokill there.
Yeah, Autokill not quite on the same page there as Hostlayer. I think Hostlayer was just getting that small trade to get the heal and the extra damage, but because Autokill steps forwards, he gets rooted.
Yeah, actually,
And,
I can pick up on that exhaust taken by Zabatori there.
Yep. And if we look at the other side of Girl, they have a fairly consistent front to back fighting style. They've got their two big front lines. Small trades happening top. I don't expect any kills to come out here. They've got the big front line in Mundo and Hecarim, who can also run forward and disrupt. They've got Ioriaa to disrupt and provide a little bit of extra both magic and physical damage. And then they've got the Ashe to just provide constant damage from the backline with a Karma to back her up and peel.
Yeah,
So overall ease of comp execution, I would give it to Girl here.
Yeah.
Generally, your front-to-back teamfight comps are a lot easier to execute. We'll have to see whether SAS are able to play out their comp well, though.
we'll have to see indeed.
Yeah, so how I feel about this comp, I wasn't really expecting the Vayne. We weren't really trying to play for that Vayne, but I believe Zabatori plays Vayne. So we wanted to take that away from him.
I'll actually have a quick look at my notes and see if that's true.
I mean, I just talked to one of my players, and that was one instance of
Never
that.
mind,
And we see
Solo and
something
Mr. Oldie
happening.
in this
Sniper
top lane.
in
Snipers
very
is having to get
awkward
away on the
place.
Hecarim, but now Yamato receiving the brunt of damage, but the Axos is going to be enough. And now Mr. Oldie under the
flashes
tower,
in.
deciding maybe this is not the time to be chasing under the tower as a level 4 Olaf.
Trying to hard shove in that bot lane, get off her back. They should be able to get it in before the wave gets there and get a nice back off, which should put them a little bit ahead of the Ashe Karma. Well, at least a little bit ahead of the Ashe. The Karma did get that first blood.
Yeah, so...
Now this is a. Oh, sorry.
No, yeah.
So this is the thing, like we draft Olaf to have that early, like really aggressive early jungle, and as you can see, like Hecarim can't really do anything if Olaf's always queuing him and he can't run away.
Yep.
I really want to know what happened during draft, because that really
It would be quite interesting.
Yeah,
I feel
to
like
see what
Hecarim
happened.
here should much more just be farming. I think even your stand a better chance at counter ganking even than ganking.
Yeah, I feel like the Hecarim does need to get those, you know, the item spikes more so than Mr. Olgier and that Olaf does at this point in the game.
Especially with Ghost, you have no real way out of any sort of fight.
First dragon
no-
is an ocean. It's fairly
Red buff on Mundo, I had not.
untouched.
Oh
Yeah,
no, that's not red buff. That's Oh, they made red buff
not
and
Balmy Cinder.
Cinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Balmy Cinder.
Oh,
Red buff and Balmy
that's
Cinder
interesting.
look so alike.
I think the
Immolate
circle's
is the
slightly
passive.
bigger on Barmies.
Slightly bigger on red buff, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I got. You know what I mean. You
Yeah.
knew what I mean.
We got there.
Yeah.
Early Ocean Drake, lovely for both teams.
I know, it
Who's
looks
gonna
like
pick
it's
it
going to
up?
be going over to Mr. Oldie and Wind Resolve on SAS. I mean, you talked about this, Joshua, how Mr. Oldie usually goes for these early dragon pickups. You're right.
yes, yes. Try and get the early lane priorities and mid and bottom to secure that early drag.
And it's a really nice pickup. Ocean will just help your laners sustain during that lane phase. They can take a bit more aggressive trades. We'll have to see if they actually go for any.
Second Drake is going to be an Infernal, so we're looking at either a Cloud or a Mountain Rift. Would you prefer to see either of these? On either team, really?
I think on either team you're actually happy for both rifts. Well, it depends. You're just really sad if you're the team that doesn't get the dragon in this case, because both are really good for either team.
Actually, Host there getting caught up by that Empowered Q. He's going to use that dash to get away from Trollzay's route there.
I think honestly you're just kind of happy that it's not an Infernal Rift. I think the Infernal here is possibly the weakest one for both teams.
They've rolled high.
Simply because of the how much the extra movement speed means in this matchup, especially when you've got something like Hecarim and Olaf on both teams.
I think
It really
Hecarim
shoves it.
benefits, Mundo benefits from it hugely. Of course, it's going to go nicely with that Karma Empowered E as well. And of course, as you said, an Olaf is never going to turn down an Ocean. Actually, no, when we see Cypress is in this top lane, Solo going to be dashing away, but the
Doesn't quite get the
ultimate from
taunt off.
Cypress doesn't get the taunt, so Solo is pretty safe there.
Has to flash to get out of it safely, but does get out.
Herald is finished by Mr. Audi in the meantime. He looks like he's looking to run away there, but
It's
he's
a
in the
nice
1v3
pickup.
here. Preston is there, does use that Fate Seal, but of course, Ragnar was there to stop the knockup, but it doesn't matter. It's just sheer amounts of damage coming out.
It's
From
a low
Audi
cooldown,
there.
so it's worth trying it, but there's no real way you get out there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Interesting interaction there. It didn't look like Zebatory actually got knocked
Yeah,
off,
I
but
saw
he
that.
got stuck in place, so I assume the knock-up went off, just the animation bugged. He wasn't moving or autoing anyway, so it looked like he was knocked up without the animation happening.
Yeah. Some decent trades coming out in the mid lane. Preston just getting actually a nice round down.
This is a great trade for Preston.
If that Fate Seal was up, that would have been a kill for Preston solo. Of course, Wynn's lucky enough that he's already used that to finish off Mr. Oldie a few seconds ago. Sniperist is coming in from the bottom side, is coming with that charge. Knocks it back with a flash and barrier from Wynn's Resolve, but a nice shockwave. We'll catch them both. Mr. Oldie is here. Now the Axe Toss in with the Sand United. Turns that around beautifully by SAS.
I want to see them drop the Herald mid.
Yep, use the Herald here. Actually kill the wave, hit the tower a bit, try and get it down to about half health, and then use the Herald.
It looks like they're just going to place the Herald straight away.
But they're just going to place it straight away. That's a bit risky. You might not actually be able to get the tower off of this.
They do actually get all the
depending on
plating
how
goals that they
much they
can out of
move.
that. So, yeah.
They'll still get it. Sniper hasn't actually walked up here.
So that'll be Tower 1 going over to SAS. A really nice turnaround from that Cypress Skank.
So the idea with the waiting to put the Herald down is the Herald ignores the tower's resistances. Whereas every plate that you take, the tower gets extra resistances. So you tend to want to try and knock the tower down to as low a health as possible, then use the Herald, so that it can ignore those final resistances and get the tower. Because those final few, that final plate is extremely tanky and hard to take.
Especially as we're seeing that 10-minute mark, so it's while these platings to fall away. But now Lord
Host
Host
Slayer
is still gonna get rooted, but is gonna be back to his team. Will be okay there.
really playing on the edge, but works out.
Yeah, so getting to the 7-minute mark, let's have a quick rundown of gold. It's looking almost steady. Even in fact, there's about 20 gold even now after that last minion died between these two top laners. Jungle, we are seeing a small lead pickup for Mr. Oldie here, looking about 500 gold. Mid lane got a nice 800 gold lead, 4 wins after that double kill pickup in the mid lane from that last gank. Bot lane also looking fairly even, just a 300 gold lead for Zabatori there, and as well 300 lead gold for Zoe. So it's looking like guys IRL are having their lead only on this bottom side. SAS of course having a better off round of the map.
Right. All the lanes that you would expect to be ahead.
Actually, you can engage from
Double
Lord
R
Host there, getting that quickness
nice
off. The
job.
shockwave landing on Troll Zoe, but the Fate Seal not going to mean a whole lot as he is now forced to run away, but he's pulled back to his soul, and now in the 3v2, SAS are going to fall a nice turnaround from guys IRL, and it looks like this will be going for the second dragon, but the TP actually coming in. Yamato cannon, now auto kill.
Down.
Getting
Auto
caught
kill
by
should
those
have condemn.
cleavers, condemns him away.
Ooh.
He's under the tower, but this looks like they're gonna leave him alone. Go for that dragon.
I think the
instead.
condemn was used maybe a little bit earlier. If you're gonna have to commit the flash anyway, you can potentially get the condemn into the wall and go for that kill. Or you can just flash over and then condemn him straight away from you rather than to the tower. But maybe
I don't
just
think we're
panic.
gonna see a kill there with the just the Butcher Cutlass in comparison to Yamato's full item with the Sunfire there. But we do have a
You're
Cloud Rift.
underestimating Vayne damage.
Definitely am.
No, it's yeah, it depends on how much damage can actually be put out. We see the Moby boots being pulled out on Hostlayer, which means we expect to see a lot of roaming out of this Rakan. Vayne, fairly safe champion actually, considering she has Condemn, she has invisibility when she ults. You can just leave this Vayne in lane and have her farm fairly well under the tower by herself.
Yeah.
So I would
like
like to see Hostlayer really making use of these boots and roaming.
Speaking of Soldi, is there in top lane actually going to be on his
2
own?
level
as Solo
disadvantage.
isn't there quite yet, but the Sand United is there. He's going to flash to give Solo that taunt, but Yamato the flash as well, but Solo's taunt's still going to land. But Yamato popping that ultimate is proving hard to kill, but Cypress is here on the side, Solo and
Kaying round.
Soldi saying that this is not the time to be diving. But Preston there,
Preston's
his
here.
soul is behind him, so he's going to get pulled away pretty soon. Does get that ignite onto Solo, but he's going to get pulled away there, but Mr. Oldie, they're going to get
alive.
thrown away with the ball there. And somehow, not a lot going to happen there. No kills
Not a lot
picked
really
up.
happening. Ragnarok used, Ignite used on Preston, the ultimate used on Mundo as well, and Shen. Just a lot of ultimates traded and a couple of summoners.
The Face Shield was available for Preston, so I'm wondering maybe there could have been a bit more.
It was
Happen
a
on
little
top.
strange how hard that was forced, considering there was nothing on the map. But you know
So
what?
we've
Sometimes
got
you just
Harold
see
and
it, you think,
15,
yeah, we can get this.
which is about it for.
Held them
Those
15, but you'd
objectives.
expect their respawn to be coming back up, and be able to get towards that in time.
It does actually look like
Looks
they're
like-
looking to contest for this Herald.
Yeah, SAS have brought Vayne up. She's currently towards the mid lane. Ash is still in bot side. They could definitely go for this Herald if they want.
Actually, so they're going to be getting a nice taunt onto Yamato and just able to finish him off with those
Yamato's in a
autos.
lot of trouble.
Is there just for that nice bit of health regen to keep him alive there, and Herald will be started by the side of SAS. Charles, is
So
there?
Vayne-
It's looking like the rest of guys IRL are just opting to get a little bit of free tower damage in this mid lane instead.
They're gonna go for the tower
But
dive.
Wynn's going to went to try and protect it, but falling to the Hecarim Yone combo.
Interesting.
Also, in the meantime, we did see a dive from Solo and Mr. Oldie onto Yamato into that top lane. But now Troll Zoe stepping a little bit far forward, actually does get the steal onto the
gets the
Herald,
Herald,
picks
picks
up
it
the
up as
Herald as well. SAS!
Oh no, absolute disaster.
But then Hostlayer walking into
Hostlayer walks
Sniperist,
straight into them.
donation
Gets the
gold
charm,
to Preston.
Of course, as everyone knows, Yone can ignore all CC and jump back to his body. So the charm means nothing.
I can feel you're tilted about Yone and
It's
you're
just,
not even in the game.
it's such a stupid ability. It's a better Z ultimate from the start of the game. Like, why? Why does it exist?
Right, moving away from your tilt there. Looking at notable item pickups, we do see that finish Sunfire Cape in the top lane. Mr. Oldie also finishing that. I've forgotten the name of the jungle enchantment, but he's going to finish it.
Oh,
Wind's Resolve is working towards the Zhonya's second. I honestly love that idea. I think
Yes.
it's really good
In this
considering how
game,
much
it's
they've been
correct.
focusing you.
In game 1, it was not. This game, yeah. The Hourglass second is going to be good. How many tier stacks have we got? So we've got 664, so that Seraph's is almost stacked up. Auto Kill does have 100 gold away from finishing that Blade of the Ruin King. Actually
Ooh,
walking in
Enchanted
this minute, but
Arrow
now Ragnarok
misses.
is popped.
Early
Will be
pop of
safe, but the
Ragnarok.
Herald's going to be chunking that tier 2 mid tower. Zapatori was just free to walk up and auto Mr. Oldie to death. That was like coming on the side here.
So, I'm not entirely sure why Ragnarok was used there. Of course, it makes you ignore all CC, but you lose resistances when you use it. I think he would have been better off just holding the resistances until any CC was actually coming down onto him.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's a lesser known thing about Ragnarok with the resistances. I think it's just no CC. Zapatori actually going to be spawning Solo out here. Getting the slows, but just not a lot of damage really coming out.
So
Of
you
course,
should be able to get
volley
out
him
of this.
down. Yeah, so it's free to walk away there. But yeah, going back to look at the items, on the side of Guy's Arrow, we do have the Brown Vest with the Sunfire, of course, finished for Yamato. Cypress is opting for the Cinder Hulk, so just going to be that beefy frontline Hecarim that Guy's Arrow are going to be wanting. Infinity Edge actually just finished for Preston, so hitting that 100% crit chance already, thanks to that amazing Yasuo passive that he's got. Never mind, actually a huge ultimate
And
coming
the
out from
engage
Cypress
comes
to
out.
pick out both Mr. Oldie and
two
Hostlayer.
people.
And they don't actually pick up Troll Zoe there, or the dragon.
They go for the 2v4. The dragon actually gets low enough to smite, but the Hecarim gets the smite on it. Yeah, imagine if you'd had the Ragnarok up for that fight and not used it in mid lane. That could have been very different.
Unfortunately, I mean, it was very close to being up. As you can see, it's up now. Obviously, it wasn't quite up in that last fight.
I'm actually unsure of how the passive of Ragnarok works, whether if it's on cooldown you still have the resistances. I assume you do.
No, you lose all. You lose
I was
all.
about to say, usually the
resistances.
passives, they are only there when it's off cooldown, but don't quote me on that.
Next time it goes onto cooldown, I'll have a look and see if the resistance.
Yeah, remember what he's on
resistance has
now?
dropped off.
And,
I mean, I can see he has 20 bonus MR.
oh,
right
Wynn's
now.
going to get
It's
rammed by Sniper. There's actually not too much damage coming out, but it's still Hecarim forcing that Seraph Shield and the
He
Flash.
should be able to get out here.
He'll be able to get away, but the Flash and the Seraph Shield's 2 decent cooldowns going to be blown there by Sniper in return for his
Considering
ghost.
he had the Corrupting Pot, I think he could have just popped Corrupting Pot early and walked out, but ends up having to use the Flash. Bottom tower should fall for this, but overall, at this point in the game, you're just kind of waiting for your item spikes, hoping that the Vayne really comes online.
Yeah, she has finished her bulk now, so that's something.
I would hope you try and funnel as much gold into the Vayne as possible. Realistically, I think Oldie should stop farming his jungle and just start letting the Vayne take all of it.
Yeah, this is the 3-man push in the bottom lane, but SAS just trying to pick up Troll Zoe in the top side
Ooh.
here.
The ultimate from Vayne was used there. The final hour.
Thanks for saying that one, because I actually couldn't remember what it's called. Don't often
Alright,
have...
so to answer. Oh,
Sorry, no,
well, anyway, to answer your thing, he loses half of his passive.
Oh, actually, the shock
That's
of landing on the
interesting.
Zapatori, flashing away, but Hostlayer is there with the quickness. Auto kill will be exhausted, but it doesn't matter, as now Troll Zoe left alone. Mr. Oldie there
That's
on
a
the other
nice
side.
rundown. Donate to Vayne. Donate to Vayne.
It will instead be going over. But of course, in the meantime, we did see Preston pushing out his mid tower. Solo is there to slow him down, but Preston will be free to walk away. Actually, speed up from Orianna with that dissonance.
And
Cypress is going to be a
chasing
good guy
this,
and
but
wait him out. But Preston getting caught by the Axe Toss. Cypress is trying to help, but the final hour will actually land on to win Resolve there. Just that shield onto himself, but Cypress will ram him down in the back. Meanwhile, Mr. Oldie did just cleave Preston down. It's now just Cypress is left in that 1v2. As Yamato is now stuck solo in this lane.
Vayne is picking up waves, which, yeah, pick up those waves.
Oh, but that actually, the move speed from the ultimate from Yamato will get him away safe.
Don't know why she's coming to this. There was a mid wave she could have also picked up.
Yep, just any amount of gold going into auto kill is
At this
good.
point, you need that. I assume it's going to be Runens. Not Runens.
Guinsoo's.
Assume it's going to be Guinsoo's next on Vayne.
Much gold she's sitting on.
And you really need that.
So I think she's about 2,000 gold from Guinsoo's. Don't quote me. I think it's a 3,000 gold item.
I would honestly, at this point in the game, expect you to just be giving as many waves and jungle camps as possible to Vayne until she gets those items, because it's such a big item spike, and it makes your team so much more powerful for her to have that.
Especially considering, Wind Resolve has got the 2 items, does have that Hourglass finish, so it's a little bit safer from, well, mostly Preston, and Cypress is just running straight at him.
And honestly, the main use for the Black Cleaver on Olaf, which he's building towards, is the Phage passive. The one there where if you auto attack, you get a little bit of extra move speed. So
He does want to finish it off.
Yeah, he has it even. So please,
How
just
do you feel about
Vayne
Miss
there.
Oldie just picking up this Spectre's cowl here?
No, he should have definitely gotten Randall wins. Would have been a
matter, it's
way
Preston.
better pickup.
I just saw it blink up on the screen. I was just like, it's 1,200 gold, and I'm not really sure why.
the only way it ever becomes useful is if he builds it into Adaptive Helm. Adaptive Helm is surprisingly good against Yone. Most people don't realize it, but because a lot of his damage comes out as half magic damage, and he likes to spam his abilities and auto attacks a lot, it actually gives you an insane amount of extra resistance against Yone. However, you still want the anti-crit first. Randuin's should be picked up first.
Yeah, Randall wins, or even what's that one that's
Oh,
saved
he's
into
fighting
the
in this
ground?
Dragon Pit. Actually, the Ragnarok is popped, but Trollzone is just going to get melted down with Mr. Oldie. Now Hosley is stuck in the pit using Autokill to get away. The final hour is popped as Zabatori is in focus of that.
Preston's just
A
popping
huge
them,
ultimate
though.
from Preston. Doesn't matter if Solo's there to taunt. The Shockwave not going to catch anyone, but Rune's Resolve is there just
Pick
doing a
him up,
nice
they
amount of
just
damage.
sniper.
And it's just the 2v1 of snipers. It's just there to run away. Yamato wasn't there. Did have the TP
Yamato
available.
Yamato just deciding, you know what? I'm not
Actually,
playing
there
Mundo
wasn't
this
a
game.
whole lot of TP
I'm
opportunities
playing
for Yamato.
Fiora this game. I'm going to 1v1 in the side lane.
Oh, Sniper's actually looking for the steal here, but Wynn's actually getting a nice bit of damage out. He's now forced to back away.
Yeah, Sniper.
700 gold
just
bounty goes on to Wynn's, but Yamato is just shoving in this tower.
Sniper donates a kill for some reason. Nothing more to say about that really.
I think he just
Yamato-
keeps them busy and stops Wynn's from recalling. and
Had a
stopping Yamato.
choice there to int for the
And,
tower
yep,
or
decides
yeah.
to, yeah, as you say, it decides to go for that imp for the tower, and now Hosley will get that
honestly-
knock up and donates that gold over to autokill.
His indecision there, where he started running away from the tower, really cemented the fact that he would have to kill himself to get it.
I think
There's a
maybe he
chance
could have
he
got
gets
away
out
without
of that.
dying there if he'd have
Yeah,
committed
if he
straight away.
stays and commits, there's a chance he gets out.
So Baron being hovered by both sides now, so we'll be going bot lane, does have the teleport available. But Stand United is not up for another, I think that's a minute and a half? Don't quote me on that again. Actually, Ragnarok is popped with the Axe Toss and a nice shockwave coming out from Wind's Resolve. And the
shockwave.
last hour is there, but Preston now on his own.
Zonya's
would
used by
jump back to
Wins.
that soul.
This should be fair.
Beautiful shockwave from Wins.
This should be an instant Baron. You do have TP up from Shen. He can easily get there should you need him.
Yep, that's Baron
Top wave
started.
should kill that tower.
Gunsoo's isn't finished by auto kill, so it's gonna be a little bit slow, but does have the bulk and of course the W passive.
And that's already a hell of a lot of damage. Vayne pretty good
They
at
do
taking
know
Barons.
it's being done. I think Ward is just put down to deny them out the vision there.
Oh, I see the pig from top lane.
Cypress is there.
TP's coming in,
Well,
but
also over the wall, but it's instantly condemned back into that
Condemned
wall,
in.
but steals the Baron.
Gets
A
the
huge
steal.
steal. And Cypress and Yamato both there, but Wins will be picking up that kill on Cypress. Now Yamato is just there to die. Steals the Baron to slow him down. But on the mid lane,
he
Solo
comes
is
into the
going
mid
down.
lane.
Preston will finish off that tower, but Solo is there to finish him off, actually going back to that soul there.
This is
Actually uses
pulled
the
back
dash
to
to get
the-
over the wall. And it looks like Preston's been getting away.
Ah, Yone.
Huge steal from Sniper Assist there.
Huge steal from Sniper. The TP ending up coming to the mid lane is a little late, so he doesn't manage to save the tower. Honestly, yeah, it's quite unfortunate. The zoning's not there, and you end up losing the Baron. As soon as Hecarim's in the pit, you should just focus him. He can always smite unless he's knocked up. And
To be
where
fair,
is the
as soon as
knock-up?
Sniper Assist came into that pit, there was a nice condemn from auto kill, but of course the duration just wasn't long enough as SAS didn't have the
No, you
burst
can
on
still
the Baron
smite
pit.
when you're stunned. You can smite.
Damn.
It's only knockups. So you literally had to.
You
Their
needed
only
Host
way
Slayer.
to stop him was Host Slayer as knock up with the Grand Entrance.
But actually,
However, that's
speaking
very
of
hard
Host
to
Slayer, isn't
time.
it? Caught out by Preston here. Catching with that ultimate there, it doesn't need
No,
Sniper
of
Assist
course.
there. And uses that Fate Seal to seal Host Slayer's fate there. I'm not proud of that one.
Vayne gets her Gunsoots. Okay, now is the time that you can potentially fight. Well, ignore every fight they've done before. This is the time where your Vayne is online as a strong champion.
It is. Speaking of other item pickups, that Spectre's Cowl wasn't actually going into the Adapt Helmet, it was going into the Spirit Visage. Actually, another decent amount of MR picked up from Winslow as well, going for that Banshee's Veil. So obviously respecting the amount of magic damage that can come out from Preston, and actually from Yamato, because Mondo dealing
It's
a
very
decent amount of magic damage
strange.
as well.
It's
And it
honestly
does
very
feel a bit bizarre.
strange. Preston,
They can
terms
see
of
the
the
death
magic damage
recaps
he
and
only
we
does.
can't, and I'm guessing that maybe that magic damage is more than we are really giving
it
credit
tends to be about a quarter to a third of Yone's damage is magic. So I'm not sure how much it really helps. Maybe the Banshees was picked up specifically just for the passive to prevent one of those knockups or the fear
Stop
from
the
Hecarim.
Hecarim just being thrown into some fear. But yeah, there is 3 magic damage sources on the side of Guy's IRL, so it's not a complete waste of a stat. But yeah, it does feel like maybe some better choices could be made. Actually, Hostea stepping forward, does have that dash away. Speaking of, Hecarim is there, but Mr. already getting the slow. A nice chokeplay, but Wins Resolve is on his own.
Nice
Actually
flash
using that
sombrero.
barrier to keep him safe there. Yamato
And there's
getting
the
caught by
stand
the charm.
resolve delivering Shen.
But the Fate Sealed coming out from Preston who finish off Mr. Aldine. It's now Winsling there with about 400 health. Yamato flashing on top of him. Otto coming out
here
of that
comes
final
Vayne.
hour. Finishes off Sniper Assist and now just will be able to freely get Troll Zoe
And
there. And overall, the 3 for 2, 3 for 1 even.
3
as
for
Winslow
1,
did actually
and
get away
Preston
from that.
and Yamato are in a bit of an awkward spot right here.
They're just going for the in-hit ride or die with this fight. Solo is there. Actually getting a lot of damage from Preston there.
If Solo can
Huge
get
amount of
a
damage from
good
Preston
taunt
there.
off.
He just uses the auto shield, but a nice knockup will actually
Oh.
finish off auto kill.
Whoa.
Preston just doing huge amounts of damage. There's no return as Winslow has no cooldowns. Shockwave coming up very soon, but it's not up just yet. Let's have that. A little bit of shielding, but Shockwave actually going to land onto Yamato, will be picking off, but Preston will be able to finish his inhib and actually keep pressing forward in this 1v2. Yeah, it's going to
And
leave
he
that
can
with
see
his
why
soul.
why Yone
200
was banned.
years!
Why Yone was
200
banned
years!
game 2. That's what I felt that one game where you have 120 armor, Yone fucking Q autos you for 1,800 damage. It's like, yes. There was a lot I could do against that. Clearly I should have built the Randuins as a carry.
I see, he's iteming towards that GA now. So it's going to make it even harder for SAS to deal with this Yone pick.
The most I can say about it is at least GA is not something that will help him one-shot you.
It's not, but it's going to make him survive twice as
A
long.
lot harder to kill.
Yes. We just see that time, Guy's Arrow did also pick up that third Cloud Drake, so they are now on Soul Point.
It looks like Vayne's potentially going towards the Infinity Edge. I'm not sure I like that, especially considering how you just basically got bursted in one hit. I think I would
A
have
PD
preferred to
would
see
be
a
better.
Yeah, exactly. A Phantom Dancer would be way better, or building towards that GA, which lets you jump straight in, and
BF
if you
Sword does
die
go into
early,
GA, so it could
doesn't
be going
matter.
towards the GA.
It could be going towards the GA, but I think if you're going towards the GA, maybe you pick up the stopwatch and some armor right now. Because the main
I mean, yeah,
issue
the
you
stopwatch is
have
going to be a good pickup into both the Hecarim and the Yone. But of
the
course
main
it does
issue
mean...
is you dying almost instantly.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the problem with the stopwatch into the draft of IRL is the fact that, you know, you can stopwatch, but Preston and Cypress and Yamato kind of will be on you. I mean, they're going to be on you before the stopwatch, going to be on you after the stopwatch. I feel like it's
Well,
just delaying your own death.
you're hoping that you're one of the first ones in, and the rest of your team is alive, so you'd hope that Shockwave comes out to help you coming out of the stopwatch, or the Stand United, the Shen Taunt potentially. Maybe he gets his W down on you, and so that you can't get auto-attacked.
Yeah, just
But it's very much to get the stopwatch here. You're very much relying on your team being able to save you out of the stopwatch.
I keep sort of eyeing over to auto kill, waiting for that
Oh,
recall.
Aldi is way out of
Aldi
position
is out of
here.
position, yeah, but pops the Ragnarok. It's actually going to get
Saves
caught
as
by
long
that
as
Fate
possible
Seal.
that
It's just the
time.
damage coming out is enough. Host Slayer force uses dashes to get away. And now in the meantime, Yamato is just there in the bottom lane. We'll finish off that tower. So now SAS left with no towers but the Nexus. But auto kill is there. Nice condemn into the wall, but the ultimate from Yamato. No executioners on auto kill, so it's going to slow down this kill. And meanwhile, Baron is started. And it's being absolutely melted down just from the power of Bork and Ashe here.
Yep. There it goes. And also magic damage crits and normal crits from the Yone are also very effective against
Now,
Baron.
I only realised this as I was talking about the last fight, but we see no executioners on auto kill, and only now do wins pick up that Morellos. The only healing reduction that SAS had was the Thornmail. And considering that's a Mundo, it's a Hecarim with Conqueror, it's a Yone with Conqueror and Bloodthirster, a Zabatori with a Blade of the Ruin King, it
So,
felt like maybe that
auto-kill.
should have come earlier.
Auto kill here is buying IE. I think potentially one of the worst item purchases you could make in this situation, assuming that you make a AD item purchase. I think the GA is just better, the Executioners is just better, PD is just better. You could even argue something like the Rapid Fire would be better because it gives you a bit more survivability.
Oh, but Ragnarok again, once again,
Look how
popped.
far
Mr.
auto-kill is.
Aldi is just left to go, but auto-kill just rammed by Cypress using that final hour to get himself away. In the meantime, of course, wins resolve. Caught in the middle of all that, will be finished off. And now
Look
Solo
how
getting
far
caught
back he
by
has
those
to stand.
cleavers. And it feels like SAS are just taunting them with different bits of bait on each side of the fight. As actually that Fate Seal will catch on to auto-kill, and that'll be one dead vein.
There he goes.
And this is looking like it's going to be game to guys IRL.
Yep.
As they come in with these Baron minions. Nexus towers falling very fast, and Solo, Mr. Aldi, and Lotto's there just can't actually
There's
do anything.
nothing they can
to
really
stop
do
them.
here.
That'd be Solo falling to Preston there. Double kill will be landing as he picks up Mr. Aldi as well, and that is game 2. That was technically game 1 going to guys IRL.
What I do find interesting is game 2 we saw both the Yone and the Mundo banned. I don't feel Mundo had such a big outcome on that game.
Right, you could play around Mundo.
You could play around the Mundo, and
Yeah.
I'm surprised that was the other thing that they chose to ban and not the Ashe, for example.
Oh, that's the wrong screen. Yeah, so it felt I don't have the words to to really describe how that game felt for me. It was just yeah, sure, we'll go with that one.
Okay, that one. The game happened. I feel like SAS just didn't really play towards their win conditions. They kept fighting even when they weren't on their item spikes. I think there was a couple of itemization issues, realistically. But overall, I mean, well played to Girl to be able to snowball into that win there. Yeah, well played to them.
MVPs?
So we'll start with the losing side of SAS. it's hard here to decide who to give it to. I think I might give it to Solo. I think he had some very nice ultimates on the Shen there. He was getting down a few taunts that were needed. There's only so much you can do on Shen.
How do you feel, Joshua? Who would your MVP go
I
to?
think I actually can't give MVPs, because I coach for that team, and if I say if I'm
Oh,
Play
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's a
You
very
could give
fair
an
point.
MVP game 1, but you couldn't give one game 2.
I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke.
Well, I could get one for the opposite team.
Yeah, who's your
yeah,
MVP for Guys IRL?
Shoot, Bagione actually did. He was a problem.
Yeah,
Preston
I
coming
think
out
I
huge
agree
with that
there.
Yone this game.
Especially towards the end, it was just, there's the Vayne, she's gone.
Honestly, we saw it
and that really
in
just-
that last pickup where Preston used that ultimate, and it was the Fate Sealed alone was about 75% of auto kill's health.
I
on
mean,
the
we
Vayne.
saw it in the fight before where they were going for the inhib. He literally Q auto attacked and Vayne died.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's
And
a
honestly,
champion.
a strong showing from Preston both games, to be honest. So yeah, props.
Yeah.
To him.
Props to him. I think the entire side of Guys IRL played well that game. I think there were, of course, a few interesting moments. They didn't play it perfectly, of course. Especially the one that stands out to me was there was a very strange Hecarim attempted steal where he just sort of stood around letting winds hit him until he died, which was strange.
So
Production values.
don't talk down on my production value. It's because I realized we don't have a post game screen. I was like, I feel like I should have the results at least on screen.
Fair enough.
But yeah, actually saying that, that was our last game of today. Thank you, Joshua, for
was.
coming on.
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you guys for having me. I know I didn't really say much, but
It was nice
I
to have you
enjoyed-
here.
yeah.
New member of
Yep.
the casting team. I can actually shout out your Twitch because Joshua does stream. Watch me spell this wrong. So yeah, go check him
can't
out.
wait to see.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually right.
Got it right. So yeah, go check him out. Twitch.tv/recluses. Also, thank you to Gavin for once again casting with me. If you've been here
No worries.
any times before, you know. Gavin
Any times.
Gavin
before.
does stream. Gavin will stream. So also go check out his Twitch.
That's fine. I'll probably be streaming some
Yeah.
CK3 soon because that's coming out, which is not League. Very different from League.
Streaming some not League.
Some not
Yes, chance question chat. AOC was just one game. MM had a very clean game 1, and then AOC FF'd game 2. So, yeah.
Yep.
So technically it's 2-0, but it was one game. But yeah, unless you two have any final words.
No, I can't wait to cast my first game with one of you two.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
nice to have you on. Yes, you get MVP rested. Well done. But yeah, we will see you guys. If not between next Sunday, we'll see you next Sunday for probably some games. I don't know. Production value.
Clash. Are we not playing Clash?
I don't know, dude.
We'll stream some Clash maybe.
Yeah, I might stream some Clash. Anyway, thanks for coming, guys. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.